Saudi Arabia and Qatar and see what happens in the United Arab Emirates. Now, the Saudis have agreed to put $600 billion in investments into the United States, while the Crown Prince says he's working on a deal to double that. In Qatar, the addition to the U.S. government being gifted a more modern Boeing 747, the president secured $243 billion in investments. Now, big corporate winners in this latest leg in Qatar, Boeing and GE Aerospace, which inked deals with Qatar Airways.
New Jersey Transit's train engineers going on strikes this morning after negotiations for a new contract with a wage increase failed. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy says he'll do what it takes to get both sides back to the bargaining table.
Our door is wide open. It was never closed, and it is not closed as I stand here. We are willing to sit, to talk, negotiate at literally a moment's notice.
New Jersey Transit is the third largest transit system in the U.S. and provides almost 350,000 trips every weekday. And the nation's largest retailer says it plans to raise prices to counter higher costs from President Donald Trump's tariffs. Walmart making the announcement on Thursday. It says it has been forced to counter the higher costs from the tariffs despite strong quarterly sales. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Temporary changes to a major highway this weekend. Your radar is clear at 69 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high in the mid-80s today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02. A south side construction zone is getting bigger this weekend. Matt Baer has those details.
That south side construction zone on I-65 is expanding this weekend.
Improving safety and efficiency there on 65.
Starting Monday morning, we'll be down to 2 lanes on the northbound side from north of I-465 to the south split. The southbound side will be reduced to 2 lanes as well starting next weekend.
So expanding to 4 lanes on northbound and southbound I-65.
Natalie Garrett of INDOT says the ramp from northbound I-65 to Keystone Avenue will also close over the weekend until sometime in August. The lane reductions are expected to continue through the end of next year. Matt Baer, WIBC Traffic.
More than 20 violent illegal immigrants arrested in Bloomington and in Evansville.
These are people that are definitely violent offenders that we wanted to remove to make our cities and our streets safer.
That's FBI in Indianapolis. Special agent in charge Dominique Evans says those arrests happened between April 29th and May 1st. They happened with the help of the DEA, ATF, and ICE. The tradition of milk for the winter is shared by the people who present the milk. 2 ladies chosen by the Indiana Dairy Farm families. Here's Chris Davis.
The winner of the Indy 500 actually gets to choose the kind of milk they drink in Victory Circle.
So there's a milk poll that takes place before, and it's so exciting. They get whole milk, 2%, or skim milk that they can choose from, but they all have the same benefits.
Abby Herr, representing Dairy Families of Indiana, talking to Wish TV. She gets to present the milk to the winner as the veteran presenter, while the rookie brings the milk to the team. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
There's about 70,000 Hoosiers without power right now in southern Indiana after big storms last night. We are expecting severe weather later on today. More on that as the morning goes on. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic and weather together in 1 minute. It's 6:04.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group. But before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. And when Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. Every pre-owned Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, every car, every truck, everything in the showroom, everything on the lot. Need credit? Managers will be on site, accepting applications for immediate review. Plus, Hubler's got you covered. Every Q-certified vehicle includes our 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota, everything goes. It's your chance to save like never before. Don't miss it. When Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. On US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. Before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
All right, checking the interstates, like if you're going to the airport, go to the airport because there are no delays at the moment on westbound 70 going from downtown. Like say West 3, Meridian, Illinois, South Split, all out westbound 70 to Indianapolis International Airport. No delays right now, no incidents to slow us down. You're looking good. If that changes, I, of course, will let you know. 4 minutes down, inbound 69. What is up, Fishers? Your commute is good so far to 465. And that interchange continuing on Benford Boulevard. That's 14 minutes right now from that northeast side interchange with I-69 down to Meridian Penn in the city center. Please have a safe Friday morning rush hour. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push to talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Tara Hastings. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, good morning. Boy, we're starting out very mild with temperatures into the 70s and upper 60s right now. We'll go partly cloudy skies today, warm and humid, a bit breezy with highs near 86. Between about 5 p.m. and 11 p.m., we're going to look for the chance for some strong thunderstorms. All severe weather modes in play. So we're talking about gusty winds near 70-plus miles per hour, large hail, and yes, tornadoes are also possible later tonight. Lows will fall to 62. This weekend, much better weather. Both Saturday and Sunday, we're going to go with sunny skies. It'll be seasonable and, more importantly, less humid. Highs near 73 on Saturday and 75 on Sunday.
Thank you very much. Right now it is 6:07 Friday morning.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Bunch of stuff out there to talk about, and yet a couple things today just hit me prepping and getting ready to be a part of the show. You have this U.S. Customs immigration enforcement announcement from, I think, the 13th, so just a few days ago in Indianapolis. A Venezuelan citizen with ties to Tren de Agua, wanted by Chilean authorities for kidnapping charges, was arrested. This is a good thing. That's one of several stories, as you heard some other ones being reported on during our newscast, of people that have been removed from this community because of the danger that they present to the community. That's a good thing. This inherently good. This, you don't even have to argue political left and right. Someone who's wanted somewhere else for kidnapping and also has ties to a violent terrorist organization, you can call them, or gang, being kicked out. Good. Also very interesting over the last, say, few days, maybe a little longer than that, I've seen more deep dive takes into how the trade war actually benefited us. This is a surprise to some in a couple ways. I'll tell you two just very quickly. One, very likely we're going to have 10% tariffs on the rest of the world just forever now, and everybody will tolerate that. I know Walmart and others says they're going to raise prices, but here's the thing. As consumers, if we don't buy stuff, they have to lower the prices again, and then they have to eat whatever those costs are. It might make them mad. It might cut into their profits, but that might actually happen. And President Trump wanted this. He wanted tariffs to be a revenue source for the United States again, and it appears that's going to happen. And actually in a way where everybody just sort of accepts and tolerates it. So by threatening to do 150 whatever percent on a bunch of different countries, well, mainly just China, he's been able to lower that now to a certain rate that's probably staying no matter what. And we're getting better trade deals. The amount of deficit that we're going to recover from our trade deal with China specifically sounds like it's going to be amazing. So what's really interesting to me, I feel like I said this, filling in for Tony Katz before in the show, is all of the craziness, all of the reactions, all of the Trump derangement syndrome media, whatever you want to call that thing that still exists there, telling us how bad this was going to be. If you just waited more time, if you give it actually like a few days, maybe a week or so, maybe longer in some scenarios, and I'm not even talking about any of the peace deals or anything else that's happening, it seems like stuff's actually going pretty well. And so one of my favorite deep dive takes, And I think it's in the Huffington Post. And I don't know if a liberal actually wrote it or it's just in a left-leaning, publication. But the take is essentially, are we going to be capable of admitting it if all the Trump things go well? If the chaos that you're told on a daily basis by regular news media or entertainment news media, whatever you want to call the people who say this stuff, but those individuals who claim that everything's chaotic and crazy, they're lying. They know that they're lying. They're doing it because it works for the people that hate Trump. But then when things actually work out, what do you say? And by the way, like some mild craziness, not, full-on ridiculousness they claim is going on, but a little bit of unpredictability, apparently very good for us, apparently very good for our deal-making capabilities, which is something that, again, it seems that President Trump actually knows. I think he was quoted recently saying, I handle trade. Excuse me, I know what it is. I use trade differently than anyone's ever used trade before. It's true. And it seems like it might be benefiting us. Surprise, surprise. Not to me or people who voted for Trump, but to everybody else out there who's not going to be able to admit any of this. I just thought it was an interesting way to start the show to remind you that things are going pretty good right now, and they're likely to actually go better for a while. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
This is Gary Dick pulling the plug on a big data center project at 632. Brought to you by IBJ's 20 in their 20s. Know a young person making a big impact? Nominate by May 23rd and learn more at ibj.com/nominations.
The quickly changing economic policy and the crankiness of the markets can make us feel a little insecure about where our retirement portfolio is headed. It's just one more thing to worry about. Take that thing off your plate with a call to Trajan Wealth, the fiduciary advisors who act in your best interest. Matt Bear here. Hey, Trajan Wealth is about you, your dreams, and timeline for the future for your golden years. Call 317-480-4040 to schedule your first appointment. It's free. Or go to TrajanWealth.com. Trajan Wealth offers retirement income planning services that start with an in-depth understanding of your short and long-term goals. It's about you. That's you collaborating in designing your personalized financial portfolio. Call today and learn more about these strategies. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. That's 317-480-4040. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's JMV. Miss M's annual open house is Saturday. Start your morning with coffee from Pearl Coffee Company. Then shop Miss M's and save 20% off everything in stock. Join Pat and Denny from WIBC's Home and Garden Show live on location from 9 until 1. Between 11 and 2, it's live music from Acoustic Catfish, refreshing wine from Mallow Run Winery, and lunch from Chomp's Food Truck. Sales, giveaways, and prizes all day. Saturday only, 20% off everything in stock. Labor excluded. Miss M's on State Road 135 south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
What if the next time you painted your home was the last time you painted your home?
Our home has had Rhino Shield for 10 years.
Rhino Shield. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Pretty good, Craig. We have westbound 70 looking good coming in from Greenfield right now. That is from State Road 9 into 465 on the east side. We have some construction there, but nothing slowing us down at the moment. Please be mindful of those construction zones today. And whenever you're in them, and watch the speed limit. Like on the northeast side, the Clear Path Construction Project, we have speed cameras up there that will take the picture of a license plate if you happen to be speeding 11 miles per hour over the posted construction speed limit. And first time you get a warning, second time you get a ticket. So that's on the northeast side with I-69, 465 interchange, and give or take and change there. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping and code RADIO. And get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Sunny with a high of 88 today. Showers and thunderstorms are likely throughout the day. And then, of course, there is a severe weather outlook for this afternoon during the Hammer and Nigel show. I'm sure they'll keep you updated on all things going on there. But there might be some tornado threats maybe in the south part, maybe just south of the city, in the south part of our listing area. So please be aware of that as you go throughout the day, and stay connected to us and Wish TV for any and all updates and severe weather throughout the afternoon. All right, more coming up in a bit.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. I got Matt and Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this very show. How are you guys doing this morning? Doing good?
Oh, I'm fantastic, Craig. Good to hear from you.
Good to be on. I love being on. I saw that there's a reality show where people are going to compete for citizenship. It's not here in the United States. It is somewhere else. And then actually there might actually be a version that eventually comes here. I just have a genuine question, and it's not necessarily about the hot button issue that this thing is about, but reality TV, do you consume a lot of it? Do you think you'd want to see it in a world like this sort of thing where some people have a lot on the line? It's almost Squid Game coming to life in one way or another. Is this something that sounds like a good idea to anyone? More serious reality TV stuff?
What are the challenges in the reality show? That's what I want to know. I mean, are we just going to let somebody in whether they know nothing about America, but they were able to win the game? I mean, surely you have to have some sort of trivial question type of thing, trivia question where you ask people like, hey, what's the First Amendment? And you hit the buzzers. And I'm also picturing kind of like a Running Man thing. You know, that movie from the late 80s? I mean, if you miss it, then, fireball drops down from the...
Sure.
I mean, we don't want any of that.
No.
It seems something a little too important to be put on reality TV to me. It's a big deal. And all the people who just work their asses off for citizenship in the United States of America, I mean, I think it's kind of, pushing them
wife
over
went
to the side,
Yes. My wife went through the process of actually getting citizenship, and I'm glad there wasn't reality TV as a component to it. I'll describe a little bit of it to you. It's called The American. The guy who wrote and produced Duck Dynasty is one of the people behind this thing. I don't know that it's actually going to be a thing that happens. Contestants would ride around the country on a train, competing in regionally specific contests. For example, in Wisconsin, they do log rolling. I don't know exactly what they do in Indianapolis if they got there, but this would be a thing that would be on television, and you'd see specific to certain community contests going on.
I think 50 contests, 50 different states. That's what you do, okay?
You win them all.
Yeah, if you win them all. In Indiana, you go and say, I don't know, you make a pork tenderloin sandwich. And the best sandwich, you get a point. You go to Alaska and you chop down trees. I have a challenge individualized to each state. Could be so much fun. Kentucky, it's like a bourbon sampling. There are things you can do here.
California, be homeless.
Yes, that's true.
Carl!
I like this as just an idea for a reality show where you don't win that. You can win like a few $1 million. You know what I mean? Like, let's go to every state. Let's do state-specific stuff. Like you said, make the sandwich and maybe do like 3 laps in an Indy car. And if you're still alive after that, you're great. Go another round.
The winner, you win the Indianapolis 500, you get your citizenship. I think that's a great idea.
Nice. That'd be cool. That sounds fantastic. But yes, that's a real thing that's out there that people are talking about. Tom Bergeron will host a Shark Week special called Dancing with Sharks. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I can't. Yeah. Dancing with Stars, of course, very popular show. Tom apparently is going to be involved in the Dancing with Sharks version. This is going to be divers performing choreographed underwater routines that are with actual sharks. Will they, do the thing with the diver, or will they do something worse? We don't know yet. We'll find out during Shark Week.
Have you ever watched synchronized swimming and just really sat down and enjoyed it and been like, man, the Olympics are on. I want to watch synchronized swimming right now, because I'm kind of feeling like this is going to be the same thing, just like really slow, unless somebody gets eaten. Unless you have a scene from Jaws where you have the arm hanging out of the shark's mouth holding a hand grenade. That would be cool, man. I think you have potential there, but I don't know.
Right. Here's the thing. I can't get over the idea that you have to pitch this to people, like the people who actually do the dancing with the shark. You got to approach the diver and be like, look, we're doing a show. Tom Bergeron is going to host it, so it's legit. And we'd like you to go in the water and dance with sharks. And we're kind of hoping they get a little violent, if we're being honest, because it's going to make the show more interesting. But maybe they'll just do the routine with you. And then someone has to say yes to that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if you're a TV producer, how do you gin up the shark? Like in the other reality shows, it's like, hey, we want you to go fight with so-and-so, and this person likes this person. You should be jealous. How do you make the shark jealous, This person.
I think you just start dripping blood into the water, right? Like that's supposed to make him go crazy, isn't it?
Some poor associate producer is trying to make their break in TV is trying to. That's so dark. Sorry.
No, it's okay. You know what's so funny about this? I know somebody, I shouldn't say a name or anything. I shouldn't even say a sex of the person because it might give people more hints. But I know somebody who produced Springer for years. And it was amazing to talk to that person about what it was like behind the scenes, because everything you said is true. The producer is trying really hard to find the hot button. So when the people walk out into the Jerry Springer show, they immediately hit the conflict moment and go nuts. Like they want that real bad. And so they're just kind of asking these questions and just talking to them. And then right when they feel like they found it, but they don't set people off too much, they back off and they go tell Jerry. And then the show was on.
I think that'd be a fun job.
It would be.
I really do.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, think about the misery you're putting in somebody's lives. Okay, you just arrived. You know you're on Springer. You know something's going to happen.
Right.
Something's going to be revealed that just changes your life forever. And it's just like, hey,
right.
So that's your wife over there. She's also your cousin. I've got bad news for you. And you just see the head explode, then they get on stage and they're like, you were supposed to be my cousin. I mean, there's so much potential here. I think it'd be a fun job.
Yes.
I really do.
My favorite part of talking to this person about it is that the individual would say, okay, she would say that as it got closer to being a fight, that's when you had to pull the brakes back. You had to calm the people back down because you need the real fight on television. You don't want any pre-fights happening. Yeah.
That's
I know.
I almost said awesome. I almost said awful. I can't.
Well,
and I think they both apply.
Yeah, I think they do. All right. One last thing before we take a break here. Signs that you might have a fake friend went viral on social media. I think BuzzFeed collected this list from people on social media. What do you think some of the top signs are that your friend doesn't actually give a crap about you?
I don't know. I'm probably that guy that people think that don't give a crap about them because
Really?
I'm so inactive on social media. I get so bashful and I get so shy and so embarrassed when somebody says something nice about me on social media, or really anywhere for that matter, because there's a block there. But you can always, it's like, say there's a girl you like and she doesn't like one of your posts. There are so many ways to get around that in your head. Maybe she didn't see the post. Maybe she doesn't want me to know that she likes me. I mean, there are 1,000 ways you can go. If you immediately go to this person, it doesn't like me or not a good friend, you're just not in the rationalizing mindset, which is where you need to be.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right about that. The number one way was not social media actually related. The number one way that you detect a fake friend, every time you talk to them, they want you to pity them. So they complain and they want to hear that sweet, sweet, oh my God, it's so terrible for you reaction to it. So it's the, real world version of that social media post that's a little cryptic where someone says something's wrong and they want people to all flood and say, I hope you're okay. But this happens all the time. If this is a friend you have, They don't hammer now.
Yeah, what did they say? They did this. They talked about this when they first got started. And I know I'm throwing back to yesteryear here, but
That's okay.
It's what do you call that? You call that. There's a certain term when you're on Facebook and you just post something like, "It's going to get better," or "Man, it was a day, but I just don't know. I'm too tired to make it through the week," or something like that. And then everybody just floods you, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And your mom calls, and people you haven't talked to like in a decade call, and everything else. There's a term for that, but I can't remember.
Well, there's several terms. Attention seeking is among them. But apparently, if this is something your friends do in real life, they don't care about you. They just want that sweet, sweet pity. That sweet, delicious pity.
Sweet, sweet, delicious pity. Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break. A lot to do today. Matt, you got some traffic for us?
I certainly do, Craig, and I'll talk to you about 65 here in a couple of minutes. That's road construction that starts going down over the weekend. It's a big project, and Ryan's going to have more on that coming up at 7. Well, no, we'll do a newscast before that. Let's say 6:32 here on 93 WIBC. Looking at northbound 465 through the northeast side, good through the construction zone. I see no problems around the airport at the moment. Just please be mindful of those construction zones. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden, the good people at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, polycast, aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey. Hey, Rob, do you want to talk about how Bruce Springsteen attacked Donald Trump in another country?
No.
Okay, join us Friday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Are you worried about your taxes? Okay, so I'm talking to those of you out there that have not filed in a few years with the IRS or state. It's time to get worried, and here's why. The IRS is getting back from their own COVID lockdown, and they're hiring more enforcers, and they're going to come after people that owe taxes. So if you're a 1099 worker, and maybe you just plain forgot to file your taxes, you need to call the professionals right now at the Tax Helpline. They are experts at knowing the tax regulations, and their goal is to help you pay as little as possible. Call right now and get a 100% free tax evaluation. Remember, before the IRS knocks on your door, knock on our door. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, make this free call right now.
Call Texas 321 now at 800-808-9443. 800-808-9443. That's 800-808-9443.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get zero down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,000 off select compact tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Indianapolis to see the full line of Kubota or visit McAllisterKubota.com.
What's one of the best ways for students to learn the value of teamwork?
By participating in high school sports. I'm Jace Martin from North Harrison High School.
And I'm Danae Klein from South Putnam High School. Playing high school sports means being a part of something bigger than myself.
I love working together with my teammates towards a common goal.
It keeps me accountable, knowing my team is depending on me.
It reminds me to prioritize the team's success over my own.
Because it's about we, not me, and that's an important lesson to learn, on the field and in life.
As teammates, we train together, we push each other, and we represent our school together. That bonds us forever.
We're a team, and that means we're in this together.
I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig. You can be a champion of high school sports by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events. This is the power of teamwork. This is coming together as one. This is your IHSAA.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
President Trump spends his final day in the Middle East. Your radar is clear in downtown Indianapolis, where it's 70 degrees. Your high today, 84. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30.
President sitting here meeting with the President of the United Arab Emirates, getting ready to wrap up the trip, and it's been a very successful one.
Fox News reporter Lucas Tomlinson is with President Trump this morning.
Let's read the receipts. Over $600 billion pledged from the Saudis, from the Crown Prince. The Qataris kicking in another $1.2 trillion, and of course the largest deal in Boeing's history. The Qataris wanting hundreds of aircraft, and here in the United Arab Emirates, not only are there more than $200 billion in secured investment in the United States, which means jobs back home, but also they're pledging $1.4 trillion over the next decade.
The president also announced during the trip he was lifting sanctions on Syria. Police in Florida have charged former Atlanta Braves shortstop Rafael Furcal with aggravated battery and a deadly weapon attack after he threw a missile, police say, into a home. Furcal says he's innocent. He says somebody tried to cut him with a knife, which prompted him to act in self-defense by throwing a rock at somebody. R&B singer Chris Brown is in trouble with the law in England. He's accused of hitting a music producer with a bottle of tequila at a nightclub in London back in 23. Brown was arrested Thursday morning. 2 shelter animals need someone to take them home. Here's Terry Stacy.
Piper has been a Humane Society for Hamilton County shelter dog for more than 687 days. I hope she finds a home this Saturday.
We have over 300 animals at the shelter waiting for homes. We're hosting an emergency adoption event to help some of our longest residents get adopted because they are deteriorating because of how long they're staying at the shelter. So from 12 to 5 at our shelter at 106 in Hague, adoptions for adult animals are just $10.
That's Jennifer Hatcher. HamiltonHumane.com for more. Terry Stacy, WIBC Mobile News.
And I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic, weather, and sports. Together in 3 minutes. It's 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. Surge Development LLC is pulling the plug, at least for now, on plans for a massive 775-acre data center complex in rural Hancock County. The mega site would have been located roughly between Indianapolis Regional Airport and Tuttle Orchards. The Shelbyville-based developer withdrew its rezoning request this week after significant public opposition to the plan, much of it voiced at a public information meeting earlier this month. The Indianapolis 500 is the largest single-day sporting event in the world, and hundreds of thousands of fans can create lots of trash. This year, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is revving up its sustainability efforts. For the first time, all glass from liquor and beer bottles at the track's bars are being sent to Knauf in Shelbyville. Knauf uses the glass in its insulation manufacturing process and just announced an expansion of its Indiana operations. Logan Waddle leads the sustainability program for Penske Entertainment.
This facility was built back in 1909 with the spirit of automotive innovation and technology in mind, and now we're continuing that tradition and that spirit in the terms of sustainability, trying to find new ways to keep our waste out of landfill, reduce our energy, and reduce our emission.
The Indy Chamber has named Jason Hester as Chief Economic Development Officer. Hester currently serves as CEO of the Greater Columbus Economic Development Corporation and brings 25 years of experience in economic and community development to his new role in Indy. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
At Indiana University, we're undaunted by challenge. We take the lead. We don't follow the crowd. Embracing the future with creativity and bravery. Unapologetically optimistic. Equipped with the knowledge and intention to change the world. Because bold is who we are. 9 campuses, 1 purpose. Creating tomorrow, today. Indiana University. Bring on tomorrow. Join us at iu.edu.
In May, we're shifting into high gear with full throttle coverage of Business at the Brickyard, presented by Liuna. From the boardroom to the backstretch, get the inside track on how motorsports fuels the Hoosier economy. We'll put you inside the driver's seat with exclusive stories from around the state and an all-access pass to the historic Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So buckle up and join us for Emmy Award-winning Business at the Brickyard coverage in May. As the month of May kicks into high gear, the town of Speedway is continuing to unveil quality of place improvements. On Monday, the town and Indianapolis Motor Speedway officials will announce what is being called a transformational project that includes formally naming the roundabout at 16th and Main Street the Al Unser Sr. Roundabout. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
And in the South Split, we're slow on the approach. It's northbound 65 Raymond up to the South Split. That's because of road construction. Looking at westbound 70 to the airport, looking good from the South Split out to the airport collector with Ronald Reagan Parkway to Ameriplex. What's up, Brownsburg, Hendricks County? Westbound 74 Dream right now looking good in both lanes coming in from State Road 260, 74, 65 on the west side. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Sunny, a high of 88. Right now it's 67 in downtown Indianapolis. The temperature brought you by the American Standard Heating Weather Center and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. Stay tuned for all things weather-related later on today. Ryan Hedrick with sports.
Craig, what up? The Indiana Fever tip off the regular season at home tomorrow against the Chicago Sky. Head coach Stephanie White, a Purdue legend and former Fever star, says it feels great to be back at home.
It's going to be an incredible atmosphere. There's no doubt about it. There's a lot of great things happening in the city with what the Pacers are doing, you know, with our team and the Indy 500, just everything that May in Indiana is about and encompasses. But at the end of the day, that all happens before. And as soon as the tip goes up, it's about Chicago.
Put your money down. The Fever 7.5-point favorites. The Indianapolis 500 held a full day of practice Thursday. Pato Award posted the 4th fastest time overall. Here's what he had to say ahead of Fast Friday.
I've done no qualifying stuff. It changes a lot with the boost. It could feel good today, like trimming-wise, but then tomorrow you put the boost on and it's like, what the hell's happened to the cars?
And that boost means drivers could go over 232 miles an hour. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg.
Race into Pierce Jewelers in Carmel and make a pit stop to purchase that unique diamond engagement ring that will put you in the winner's circle. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Tony Katz to 46220 today.
Tony Katz, the morning news, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Lots of stuff to talk about. This went very viral yesterday. This is a press conference. Representative Summer Lee is talking about how reparations are needed for all Black Americans. And she was asked a specific question, and then she gave an interesting answer. So I'm going to play all of this and then react to it accordingly. One note, for some reason, all the audio that went viral on social media was sped up. I think a lot of people listen to things quicker now. So I've tried to slow it back down. If it sounds at all odd, I didn't try to do this to make it sound any sillier than it already does. I tried to actually time it out correctly. But here we go. Here's a reporter question, then an answer from a politician about reparations. She is standing there. She's a Black woman. People don't know who this individual is. And she has a bunch of people standing behind her with signs that say reparations for all Black Americans. Here we go.
Has been exactly what does your resolution really aim for? Is it that Black Americans of a certain economic level, are they being targeted? Is it everyone? So basically, it doesn't matter as to what economic level. It's pretty much all Black Americans. What about those individuals of any race that have a lineage going back to slave America? It doesn't matter
So to be very clear, whether or not a Black descendant of American chattel slavery were able to break into the middle class, they were able to do that despite the harms, despite the past injustices done to them. So they are not excluded from the reparation and the remedies therein. When we think about who traces their lineage back, that is, again, a debate that is used to try to silence the rest of this movement. It's a distraction tactic. What we want to do is instead of focusing on, again, what the system did, who did it?
All right, I got to already stop. It's amazing. All right, so here's the thing. What they're actually talking about, these individuals who say this, these politicians or anybody out there, is getting paid money for feeling as though at a certain point in our society, things were racially unfair. They're not actually asking for reparations for slavery. It's the easiest way, I think, that people believe that Americans would swallow the idea of this, and a whole lot do not. Any data you look into on this, Black people overwhelmingly support the idea of reparations. Everybody else overwhelmingly does not support it because, like anything, and I've talked about this before, filling in on this show or on other shows, like student loan debt forgiveness, for example, to go another road for a second. College-age individuals or people that just graduated college overwhelmingly support free money to get rid of their student loan. Everyone else in America does not support it, including, minorities who don't have debt themselves. They also don't support this. However, they do support reparations, et cetera, et cetera. It matters if you're getting a check as to whether or not you say yes or no. But here's why I say that it's not about slavery. For her to actually say in this press conference that it doesn't matter if you can trace your lineage to slavery or not, meaning that if you're a white person who somewhere in your family tree has someone who was a slave, you can't have any money. But other people can have money, even if they have no connection to slavery. And a whole lot of individuals that live in our country now that happen to be Black have no connection to American slavery whatsoever. So that's the problem with any of this. Well, that's one of several problems with any of this conversation. All they're saying, people who support this, is let's give a bunch of money to everyone who is Black because we think that they deserve money. And we'll say it's sort of tied to one thing, but when you can demonstrate factually with history that it's not even really tied to that, well, then it's for something else. And essentially, it's also just trying to buy votes to say you support this when America would never go along with this. Many, many Americans would not be okay with $1 million checks being written to just a small subset of our country based specifically on race. That wouldn't feel fair. And I love that she also says that if someone somehow rose up through this oppressive system that didn't oppress a specific individual, then that person still should get money because they succeeded where it was too difficult to succeed, even though they did it. And so they also deserve a nice fat check. It's just crazy, but it was viral all over the internet. I figured I had to play it and react to it a little bit today. We'll take a break, a lot more. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Another update is just minutes away.
Trump with the troops. With the people that I really love and respect. Military will soon be bigger, better, stronger.
Hear the news.
A woman shot and killed along Massachusetts Avenue, pronounced dead at the scene.
As events happen.
The governor says the execution can proceed. The killer of a Beech Grove cop.
We'll happen to be there.
Pacers Eastern Conference Finals.
Game 3 being on the same day as the Indianapolis 500.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
When you golf in Missouri, the courses are so close, you'll spend more time on the fairway than the freeway. After the back nine, enjoy world-class dining and distilleries, shops, spas, museums, and more. Find your new golf MO at visitmo.com.
You may not have 1,000 horsepower, but you're always racing, whether it's to work, to pick something up, or drop someone off. So go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler
Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're racing to, go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Not bad, Craig. We do have a slow spot on the south side, northbound 65 stop-and-go traffic before Raymond into the south split. That is because of road construction, the preparation of adding another travel lane to I-65 in that area. That is a big project. We have details coming up in the news coming up at 7:02 with Ryan Hedrick on 93 WIBC. Northbound 465 on the northwest side wide open right now as you make your way 86th Street up to 865. Fishers, you look great so far this morning. Coming in on I-69 southbound direction from State Road 37 to 465. 4 minutes on the clock. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their great selection of grills. Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Sunny, a high of 88, 67 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating Weather Center and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. Stay tuned for all things severe weather related during our afternoon show, Hammer and Nigel, and throughout the whole day. And also listen to our friends from Wish TV right here on 93 WIBC.
Saturday is the Sundown Gardens Spring Open House. Save 20% off everything in stock, excluding labor. Sundown Gardens, 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale. Only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
The WIBC mashup is everything you loved, from fiery debates to laugh-out-loud takes, all in one podcast. No weak sauce, just the best of the day each weekday. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Memorial Day is for honoring heroes. In Indy, it's also a day for celebrating the Indy 500. As the excitement of May grows, so do the temperatures outside. Indiana American Water reminds you to start conserving water. Just like a finely tuned race car, your home needs to run efficiently. Fix leaks, use water-efficient appliances, and do lawn watering early in the morning. Make this summer a season of savings and sustainability. Conserve water, save money, and enjoy a greener tomorrow. Happy Memorial Day and enjoy the race from Indiana American Water.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt, you got Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. Toupees are making a comeback. That's the headline. Producer Carl actually sent me the story, which was great. Toupees are in style for both men and women. Many people have opinions about this. Matt Bear, what say you on the realistic-looking toupee?
I wish this would have happened before people started taking drugs that gave them ED. I mean, I think that would have been really useful. It's like it being a day behind the weather.
Don't you do a live spot, though, for a company that helps out with that?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So it's a perfect circle then, is what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Listen. Yes. My thing with the toupee always has been, and I am follically challenged. I have been all my life. My thing with the toupee is if it comes off, I can't think of a more embarrassing thing, man.
Oh, yeah.
So you jump into a pool, or people are like, why aren't you swimming with all your nieces and nephews? And everybody's having this big pool party. I'm like, I'm not getting in the water because my hair is going to come off.
I don't want to risk it. You know what's funny? I used to work with a guy who had an elaborate toupee, or at least he claimed to have one. And he said the like putting it on process, he'd go to some hairdresser and they do it, took hours. I couldn't fathom sitting there for that as they're slowly folding this thing and like sticking it into my head so that it stays for a while. And I think he did this every couple months. It's like a haircut, just way different. And yeah, I think I agree with you that on that in that set of circumstances, I would just rather be bald.
Just add an extra 45 minutes to your time getting ready in the morning to carve out your toupee every morning. You know, you hire an assistant just to get your toupee. It sounds like so much work, but I'm assuming this is a better alternative to what? Getting something else and maybe a more affordable thing. I know. Listen, if it works, it looks good on your head, go for it, man. I mean, if you're insecure about it, it's like, you know, people that talk about plastic surgery, women that I know, they're always, listen, if it makes you feel better, I say go for it. And who are we to judge? Yeah, get your toupee, get your Botox, whatever.
Well, and you know, it's funny, as we you know, crap on any of this stuff, I have said several times for years now, I don't know if I've said it a lot on the radio, but definitely off the radio, that when my follicle challenged head starts to get worse, I'm getting the implants. I'm doing it. And I might have to fly to India to do it so that it's nice and cheap. Although I hear there are some places in Indiana and in Indianapolis that might be good picks, so I don't hop on a plane and fly somewhere else. But I've heard good things about everything involved. And I'm
I don't know if
it.
I'd go to India for anything right now.
I found that
they're a little dusting things up
over there. Dude, I found that online. This is a couple years ago, and I remember I told my mother, and it caused one of the biggest fights on like Thanksgiving I think I've ever had with the ma. I was like, I think I'd honestly fly to India if it's this cheap to get the hair transplant things. And she's like, that's the dumbest thing you've ever said, son. And it became a whole fight. I was like, how dare you? I've said dumber things.
While you're over there, get your tonsils out, you know. Just make it a trip, you know.
Yeah, you know, why not?
Yeah.
Anyway, some other things out there that I saw. Memorial Day travel could break a record that stood for 2 decades. 45.1 million people to travel at least 50 miles for Memorial Day this year. That would break a record that we set in 2005. The roads would probably be horrible. How do you feel about Memorial Day travel, Matt?
I think all 45 million were on 465 yesterday, so that's fantastic. There's nothing they can throw at us that we can't handle now.
Sure.
It's the same thing. It's different with Memorial Day travel, I think, because that's something you have family involved in. We're not always that excited to see family, so maybe we take it a little bit slower than what we would in rush hour. Rush hour, you know, you have to be somewhere at a particular time, and that's why rush hour is so hazardous, you know. But with something like a Thanksgiving travel or Memorial Day travel, people are off work, they're a little bit more chill. They might use their turn signals a little more often, you know, if it's at all possible. But it's a lot more people. I get that, but it still doesn't equate to a rush hour to me. I mean, but I'm biased, you know. I'm a rush hour jock. That's what I do. So, you know.
I love the idea that the reason it's not as bad is we don't actually want to get where we're going. I kind of love that a lot. I've never thought of that before. Like, I'm going to take it slow. We don't know. Mom doesn't need to yell at me about the India idea again. We'll take some time. Another thing out there that I saw that I thought was interesting, this is car related too, Matt. An 83-year-old man crashed into a bank and then 6 weeks later crashed into the exact same bank in the same hour in the same spot. This guy must really hate this bank. This happened in New York. He says both times that he accidentally hit the gas pedal, and he's 83 and maybe shouldn't be behind the wheel of a car because of some issues that he has. But nonetheless, he has hit a bank twice in the same location. Right after they repaired it, man, he took it down again. How do you feel about this story?
I mean, in Indiana, he'd get an operator's license for that. I mean, he'd be able to operate heavy machinery. You know, we hand those things out. No, it's there's better ways to rob a bank, Craig. I'm just saying, you know, there are better ways to do this. Is he okay? I want him to be okay. All right.
He's fine, and no one was hurt, but both times he barreled through. And actually, what's kind of funny is in the second video or photo of this, you see some of the, boards they put up from the first crash that are still there in the corners that he knocked over again. Hey, but you're right. This is not an easy way to rob the bank. Keep Craig, claiming you're doing it by accident. Yeah, go ahead.
I heard he's going to be the next nominee for president by the Democrats.
My question is, what if you're a child of this man? Do you try to encourage him not to drive anymore? Because obviously there's something there. You know, just be like, Dad, I love you, but you cannot drive this car.
Yeah,
you just can't do it.
I got to be honest, Pop, if you go viral for crashing into a bank twice in the same location 6 weeks apart, we take the keys, buddy.
You put social media into it, and Dad's not driving anymore.
Don't drive the car and don't be the president.
Yes, please don't do any of that stuff. All right, we got to take a break. A lot coming up. Matt's got some traffic for us.
All right, fellas, looking at inbound 69, looking great here so far this morning. And northbound 65 on the south side, that's slow traffic from Raymond Street up to the south split for road construction. And we look at everything going to the airport right now, maybe doing the ride-sharing thing from the downtown hotels today, making a buck, taking people out to Indianapolis International. Please be safe. And westbound 70 looks fantastic right now. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough nose and throat evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Masters Heating and Cooling is ready to make sure you are cool and comfortable all summer long. They took great care of my system, and they can help you make sure that everything is ready to go to ensure a nice, comfortable summer and then a very comfortable winter. I've worked with their general manager, David, numerous times, and it has always been a pleasure. And right now, you can get $500 off a new AC system. And if you've worked with Masters before and you've spent more than $500 on AC repairs in the last year, you can apply that amount as a credit towards a new system as well. Masters Heating and Cooling makes it easy. They've got flexible financing options and 24/7 service, so no matter what your issue, Masters Heating and Cooling is right there to take care of you and your family. Give Masters Heating and Cooling a call. 317-567-9505. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-567-9505. Or request service online at mastersindy.com. mastersindy.com. Tony Katz here for Premier Arms in Brownsburg, Central Indiana's premier arms dealer. They have over 1,200 firearms in stock, the largest selection of used firearms in the area, from pre-Civil War to modern guns. Premier Arms has always put their customers ahead of their profits. They always have ammunition available when a customer buys a firearm. Everyone can find what they're looking for at Premier Arms in Brownsburg, 3754 South Green Street. Find them online at premierarms.com. premierarms.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,575, Nautilus MSRP 61,995, Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers good through May 31st, 2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Neighborhoods are popping up everywhere, but if you want something different than what you're currently seeing, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, can build you a unique custom home on your own private lot or anywhere you can bring your own builder. They've built hundreds of homes across Central Indiana. Visit Joyner Homes Model Homes or go to joynerhomes.com to see floor plans and pricing and more. With Joyner Homes, you can even start from scratch if you want. Check out their 5-star Google reviews and visit joynerhomes.com.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. What forecasters are saying about severe weather headed your way. What the FBI is saying about an operation in southern Indiana. And a tradition at the Indianapolis 500 and who's behind it. Those stories after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It is 7 o'clock.
More big business deals for the U.S. I'm Sue Guzman, Fox News. President Trump meeting with business leaders in the United Arab Emirates this morning, where the UAE agreed to partner to build the largest artificial intelligence campus outside the U.S. Fox Business Network's Edward Lawrence has more on the economic deals that the president has been making on this Mideast trip.
President Trump is racking up historic pledges for one overseas trip. He's got a number of CEOs that are trailing him behind, trying to capitalize on the committed amounts of money from Saudi Arabia and Qatar and see what happens in the United Arab Emirates. Now, the Saudis have agreed to put $600 billion in investments into the United States, while the Crown Prince says he's working on a deal to double that. In Qatar, the addition to the U.S. government being gifted a more modern Boeing 747, the president secured $243 billion in investments. Now, big corporate winners in this latest leg in Qatar, Boeing and GE Aerospace, which inked deals with Qatar Airways.
New Jersey Transit's train engineers going on strikes this morning after negotiations for a new contract with a wage increase failed. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy says he'll do what it takes to get both sides back to the bargaining table.
Our door is wide open. It was never closed, and it is not closed as I stand here. We are willing to sit, to talk, negotiate at literally a moment's notice.
New Jersey Transit is the third largest transit system in the U.S. and provides almost 350,000 trips every weekday. And the nation's largest retailer says it plans to raise prices to counter higher costs from President Donald Trump's tariffs. Walmart making the announcement on Thursday. Says it has been forced to counter the higher costs from the tariffs despite strong quarterly sales. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Severe weather today and into tonight. Nothing severe on radar right now. To the contrary, 69 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today, 84. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:02. Tornadoes are possible as strong storm systems roll through Indiana tonight.
Further south, we've got that moderate risk, which would be a 4 out of 5. So just better chances for severe storms further south, but we are still in a good chance for severe weather this evening here in Indianapolis.
Forecaster Casey Fuson at the National Weather Service Indianapolis says a storm is expected to roll through between 5 and 11. The biggest concern right now is large hail and strong winds, but of course tornadoes are on the table. 23 people arrested in southern Indiana for what the feds call a joint operation. All those people found in Bloomington and Evansville between April 29th and May 1st, and they were all illegal immigrants, says Special Agent in Charge Dominique Evans with the FBI in Indianapolis.
We had multiple people that were previously removed as felons and then re-entered the United States and then continued to conduct pretty significant criminal activity.
And she says those people were into drug trafficking, sex trafficking, and 10 of them hurt people really bad. Drivers will notice a huge change along I-65 on the south side of Indy during their commute Monday. Here's Matt Baer.
Southside drivers will need to plan ahead for a massive construction project starting Monday morning. Northbound I-65 from the south split to just north of I-465 will be chopped down to 2 lanes. The southbound side gets the same treatment next weekend. The dust and delays will lead to an added travel lane and hopefully a smoother road as well. Natalie Garrett of VinDOT.
While we're in there adding lanes, we're going to replace the pavement that's there. Safer, smoother commute for those that travel 65.
The lane reductions are expected to last through 2026. Matt Baer, WIBC Traffic.
We're going right back to Matt in a minute. A World War II era plane crashed on Thursday afternoon at the Terre Haute Regional Airport while attempting to land. 3 vintage aircraft were in the area. The first one landed safely. The second one diverted, and the third one went down about 2 in the afternoon. Former Eminence High School teacher Brittany Fortenberry may have a mental disorder. Chris Davis reports on a request from her attorney.
Fortenberry is accused of more than 20 felonies, having sex parties with minor students, molesting them, and sharing pornography with them. She has claimed before to have borderline personality disorder. Now her lawyers say she should have a psych evaluation ordered by the court. If it is determined that she has a mental defect or disease, the 31-year-old could use that as a defense, or a judge could rule her unfit to face the charges. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Indiana Pacers could learn who their Eastern Conference final opponent is tonight when the Knicks and the Boston Celtics hook up for Game 6 at Madison Square Garden. Tip-off at 8 o'clock. I'm Ryan Hedrick on The Level on the Go and at WIBC.com. At 7:05, traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Pick.
What's happening, Ryan? Looking at northbound 65 south side, slow from Raymond Street up to the south split because of road and construction. And then we look at westbound 70 to the airport. No problems there. If you're coming up from Greenwood here this morning, good morning, Johnson County. Northbound 65, just fine from exit 99 Main Street up to 465 on the south side. And peeling off to 465, those exit ramps look great as you make your way around the city. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping at code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, Craig, good morning. We are muggy here to start things off this morning. Partly cloudy, warm, humid. I think a lot of the daytime hours are going to be dry. A high of around 86 this afternoon. Be alert for storms as early as around 5 p.m. tonight. Window of severe weather, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. A pretty long line of strong storms racing through, damaging winds, large hail, maybe some tornadoes, all possible. We'll dip down to a low of 62. Storms should be clear by around midnight. Weekend looks wonderful. Sunny, breezy, and less humid on Saturday, 73. Sunday, mostly sunny skies, and highs into the mid-70s.
Thank you very much, Marcus. Right now it is 7:06 Friday morning.
This hour on WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, designers of fine custom jewelry.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Let's dive deeper into this FBI report that was released of people in Evansville and also in Bloomington in Indiana. It is crazy. 23 individuals were taken into custody by the FBI. 10 of those individuals had been arrested at least once, if not much more than once, for operating while intoxicated as far as driving a vehicle. 10 individuals involved had been in crimes that resulted in the injury to other people. 3 individuals were connected to drug possessions and trafficking previously. Lots of these individuals had been removed from our country because of, something horrible that happened that they did. And then they were brought back they came back into the country during the time when Biden decided that, borders can be wide open. The most interesting part of this story to me, though, is how significant enough of an FBI operation happens in places like Evansville, Indiana, where the population is 180,000 for that county. It's shocking. And it's also not, to be entirely honest. My wife is from Mexico. And so I know some things about how the drug cartel works and operates there. And one of the biggest challenges that a lot of small towns in Mexico face is that people will take over those towns, cartels will, because of their proximity to a bigger city where they're not going to have as many issues. Say their proximity to an Indianapolis, if they were actually here in the United States, like they were in Bloomington for some of these, gangs and cartels and terrorists, as President Trump has called them. And what's really crazy about that idea is how, the expectation is you can just build an operation there. And in a place like Evansville, where you have a couple-hour drive access to several big cities in our country, essentially meaning that more and more often this fight, this all-out war with the, people who are here and doing the most harm, while also getting into our country illegally, is going to go well beyond just the big cities. People who assume that, Chicago and places like it are going to be the main fights, New York, Houston, whatever. It's not true. A lot of this is probably going to be the outskirts of those cities or a few-hour drive away from those cities where these places where these groups think they can operate with as much power as possible, and then also, again, have access to do whatever they want to do in those bigger locations. But a significant operation and a big win by the FBI for sure, and good to send people like this out of our country again and actually prevent them from coming in this time. All right, one other thing that I want to play real quick, and it is amazing. So Jake Tapper is one of the two people behind a book that's going to come out. The book is called Original Sin, President Biden's Decline, Its Cover-Up, and His Disastrous Choice to Run Again, which is crazy. But the most insane part of this, and Gretchen Whitmer was on CNN and answered a question about this the other day, is how ridiculous the Democrats are being about something that absolutely happened, that they absolutely did, that they're almost acknowledging occurred more and more often now, because how you hide it at this point, when Jake Tapper is willing to write a book about it and profit from it, sadly, that it's gotten to a point where most liberals at least can admit that it happened and then blame Biden somehow still for the decision to cover up his mental decline and use him as a prop throughout a lot of his presidency and then try to convince him not to run again. But darn it, the old man decided to run anyway. But here's the most ridiculous part. During this back and forth on CNN, she was asked how often she interacted with Biden as the co-chair for his presidential campaign. And her answer was, not a lot.
Another topic, and that is my colleague's book with Alex Thompson on President Biden's physical and cognitive decline during his time in the White House. You were a co-chair of the Biden-Harris campaign. You stuck with Biden until he dropped out of the race. Given your position in the campaign, what signs of decline did you notice?
Here's the other way you could ask this question, and I can't actually say the word I want to say because I'd get in trouble, but how full of crap are you, ma'am? How full of crap are you that entire time that you're running and helping the Biden campaign and absolutely hiding stuff or not even really interacting with him?
I've not read the book. I can tell you this, that as the book reports, cabinet members didn't have access. That tells you that, as a governor in a state, halfway across the country who was working her tail off, 160 stops on a bus tour that I headlined through swing states. I was busy working. I was busy doing the connection and the voter registration. And so
you
I
didn't
can't
see signs of
speak to
decline?
that directly.
So you didn't see any?
I didn't see the president frequently, and I can tell you I can't speak to that directly.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't even see him. I didn't even interact with him. Why interact with him? I'm just the co-chair of his reelection campaign. Why talk to him? Why get on the phone, be around him in person? Why do any of that stuff? It's ridiculous. And the amount of people now trying to say, oh, I didn't know. Everybody else in the Democratic Party knew, but I personally didn't know is insane. This actually does matter still. And I think a lot of Democrats and a lot of mainstream news media just want to forget how horrible and terrible they lied to us yet again and covered something up yet again. All right, quick break, a lot more. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct, and May is officially the kickoff to home improvement season. And right now, during their home improvement season sale, you'll get an incredible 50% off your windows. Yes, half off. You heard right. You can upgrade your home with beautiful energy-efficient windows for half the cost. But it gets even better. For a limited time, you'll get no interest and no payments for 12 months. That's a whole year to enjoy your new windows before you pay a single cent. And here's the cherry on top. You'll receive a free entry door with your window purchase. Now, some restrictions may apply, so to get all the information and schedule your free in-home estimate, call Universal Windows Direct today at 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Universal Windows Direct's home improvement season sale. Half off your windows, no interest, no payments for 12 months. 317-659-7574. Tell them Rob sent you.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Millions of illegal aliens crossed our southern border under Biden administration policies. But now, things are changing. This is your Congressman, Jefferson Shreve. I'm committed to securing our borders and to protecting our Hoosier communities. I'm delivering for you. Because of Republican leadership, illegal border crossings are at an all-time low. I'm leading the charge to complete the southern border wall and deport illegal aliens. I'm fighting for Indiana and working for you in Congress.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Pretty good, Craig, as we check the interstates right now. Northbound 65 slow out of the south side. Raymond Street up to the south split because of road construction. Inbound 69 starting to tighten up from 82nd Street. From 96th Street down to 82nd Street. On the east side, the same slow northbound 465 Penn Pike up to East 56th. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping at Code Radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Sunny, a high of 88, 65 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, 93 WIBC. By the way, severe weather is expected, or at least we are, anticipating some this afternoon. Stay connected here to Hammer and Nigel. Our friends from Wish TV jump on the show, too. All things weather-related coming up this afternoon throughout the day on 93 WIBC.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
This Saturday is the annual Sundown Gardens Spring Open House. Shop Saturday to save 20% off everything in stock. You won't want to miss this event and all the great things that Sundown has to offer. Enjoy prizes and giveaways, sales, and more. Don't forget the Hamilton County Llamas are going to be there from 11 to 1. This Saturday only at Sundown Gardens Spring Open House. 20% off everything in stock, labor's excluded. Sundown Gardens, located on 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. SundownGardens.com.
Gearing up for the popcorn moment, brought to you by Boer Remodeling. Yeah, I know. I took the day off to rest the arm and hopefully get some good healing from this thing. But the work, it continues. And Boer Remodeling, they do the work. That kitchen, that master bathroom, how about the basement, turning it into some great part of the house as opposed to some place you just put stuff you don't want to see anymore? Boer Remodeling has got you covered, taking care of Central Indiana. For over 2 decades, design experts that can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch, guys. Creating custom kitchen plans that work best with your space. Create an open floor plan with a beautiful new island and plenty of seating. Boer Remodeling delivers quality work on time with a service-oriented attitude. You can have that master bath of yours be that spa retreat you've always wanted. Increase the value of your home, increase the value of your life. Their 5-step design process, from start to finish, consultation to construction, means you know exactly what's happening, and it's happening exactly the way you want it. Boer Remodeling. Call them today. 317-852-5546. 317-852-5546. Boer Remodeling, 852-5546, or online at Boer, BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com. The popcorn moment. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Sometimes I do that 3 times. Sometimes I do it 4 times. I don't know which one is better, really. All I know is it's a good popcorn moment, and Craig has got you covered. Craig, it's all yours.
Thank you, Tony. I will fire off a Jasmine Crockett thing that's going viral again. This is from a few days ago, actually. I think a few weeks ago originally, but it's going viral because now there's a rumor that she might be the preferred vice presidential nominee on the Democratic ticket. Here is Jasmine Crockett on a camera she didn't know was taping her.
I want y'all
to know that every day that I walk in those halls, regardless of whatever rhetoric they put out about me, I am a very serious lawmaker. At the same time, if you try me, you will find out. I just want to be clear about that because I am truly a black woman at the same time.
Okay, I don't even know what that means, by the way, but that went viral for several reasons, mostly because Jasmine Crockett was threatening to fight people. If they try her, she'll beat them up. And she says it's based on race, that she, being a black woman, is someone different than her serious political individual. I just have a question about that, and I genuinely mean this, and you can answer on your own if you want. And I know it's weird to use a popcorn moment that might have already, popped up a few weeks ago, but it's going viral again, mostly because of the reparations conversations in politics and so many other things. But why would you want to see yourself as a serious person that's not connected to your race as an individual? That your seriousness is removed from that, which is the sentiment that Jasmine is talking about. She's saying that when she behaves like the individual that she is, that she's doing that differently than when she's acting seriously as a politician. And that simply makes no sense. It just doesn't. And I don't know why you'd be proud of something like that even more than anything else. Essentially saying out loud that a fake me acts serious and real me is a very different person. I don't know why you'd brag about that. And at times, I think that's actually part of the problem in our society in general. I'm not being specific to any group of people or any race when I say this, but in general, to take pride in, say, beating the crap out of other people per se, or whatever it might be, and to think that that's more tied to your identity than behaving like an upstanding human, like a serious individual, like a person that everyone would look up to, whoever that is. I'm not sure that Jasmine Crockett ever fits that description, but nonetheless, I just think it's kind of insane. And again, part of the problem, propping up bad behavior as if it's more of a core component of you, the person, seems to be a mistake that will influence other people to do also terrible, horrible things. And then to tell them the excuse is, well, that's who you are. That's truly who you are because it's who I am. That's her sentiment, not mine, by the way. No one get the pitchforks out and come for me. I'm not turning it into a race conversation. She was. All right. I want to transition away from the popcorn moment for just a second because I have a question about a totally different thing that's gone viral. And I don't know if Matt and Carl are familiar with this at all. Have you heard of the game One is Poison that's going on TikTok, on social media?
Why no, I have not.
Okay, so here's the game. I'm going to set it up for you. A person puts out a bunch of candy, and they tell you one is poison. It's not actually poison, but they pretend it is. At least that's what you're supposed to do. And then the person looks away. You point to the one on the table that's poison to the camera so everybody watching the video knows. And then they tell you that for each piece of candy you eat, you get 10 grand or $100,000 if you want to go crazy about it. And they see how many you eat before you kill yourself. It's a real thing happening. And it's, again, fake. But the idea is to ask the question, if you were presented with this in real life, how many pieces of candy would you eat, risking that one could kill you?
I think this is fascinating, and I think we finally have a good use for social media because it does make you think about these kinds of, these conundrums, these questions of life. So basically, we lay these things out, this candy, and one of them's poison. Somebody's the dungeon master, right? Like D&D, they say this is correct. They say this is poison or that's poison. They don't tell the contestant. The contestant's like, oh, okay, I can't eat that. That's poison. And if you're right, then you get $10,000. That's imaginary.
Yeah. Right, $10,000 to $100,000 that's imaginary, or in the real life version. I guess let's ask you this. 11 pieces of candy out, 10 of them will get you $100,000 each. So you get $1 million if you eat them all. One kills you, the 11th piece of candy. How many pieces do you eat, Matt Bear? Any or none?
I'm going for the whole thing. I really think I'm going to. I have a really strong immune system from living a life of debauchery, and I just think even if it was poison, I just kick it right out of my body.
Okay. You made an incredible point there. If you stuff all 11 in your mouth, you get the $1 million. Yeah. You also have to deal with the poison. But you get the $1 million in that situation.
Well,
So that's interesting, man.
At least your family will be set. You know, and
Right.
that's, you know, you can enjoy the money. You'll be dead, and you'll be like, well, this is kind of dumb, but
Right.
at least I have $1 million.
Well, no, I gotta be honest, because the risk is, like, with my luck, I'm gonna be second piece of candy in. I only get 100,000 and then I'm out. At least if you go all 11, you're guaranteed the mill. I didn't think about it that way.
Back in my day, we called this Russian roulette. And it's not something we played on the playground or put on TikTok, you know?
But that's the weirdest thing to me. That's the thing I was going to say about it, is it's odd to like pretend this game into existence where someone might want to do it for real. I feel like that's all you see on the internet now. But yes, a lot of people going viral playing the pretend version of One is Poison game and telling you get fake money for how many you eat that are not, in fact, the poison. And then at some point, sadly, you have killed yourself. It's a crazy game. It's viral all over social media.
It's different. You know, it's not shoots and ladders. I mean, it's not playing Foursquare outside. I mean, there's a little bit more of I want to say kind of a risk involved in this.
Sure.
If you look at all the control, like the different control variables here, what is the candy? What does the candy matter?
That's
I mean,
a
if
good
you have
point.
different candies, if you have a Kit Kat over here and it's poison, I'm still going to eat it. Okay,
that's true.
If you have a whatchamacallit over, if you have candy corn over here, I'm probably not going to eat it, even if it's poison or not. So yeah, this is a tough game, man.
I love comparing it to what we played as kids growing up. Because there was never like a, is this poison version of a game for us. I missed out.
Honey, I want $1 million.
Enjoy it. Okay. Anyway.
Just fall out of the chair.
Yeah, there we go. All right. The world is crazy. Matt, how's traffic look at least?
We're northbound 65 on the south side, Craig. Stop and go traffic, Raymond Street up to the south split, and that is a construction zone. We'll talk more about that coming up with Ryan Hedrick and WIBC News at 7:32. Northbound 65 slows out of the north split to West Street, and inbound 69, that's now stop and go from 106th Street down to 82nd. Not a big delay there. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel show this afternoon, 3:06. It's Beer Sample Friday. Johnette Cruz from the newsroom. She's going to do Celebrity Beer Bong, and Jeff Boggs is in for Nigel.
Have you seen all the patio furniture at Sullivan Hardware and Garden? Check the specials on all of our patio furniture just in time for Memorial Day. Like all-weather wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. We specialize in excellent quality, mid-priced patio furniture that's in stock at our 37,000 square foot warehouse. All sale priced at 30% off. You can even choose your own custom cushions on most sets. Get ready for Memorial Day. Come see our wide selection of hanging baskets, bedding plants, perennials, and much more. With so many colors and varieties, it's the best looking selection you'll find anywhere. Looking for a new grill? See our full selection of Weber, Traeger, and the Big Green Egg. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers. Online at sullivanhardware.com.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 463-251-1912. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 463-251-1912. That's 463-251-1912.
Spring is here, and that means it's time for new flooring in your home. Brothers Floor Covering is ready to help. Brand new carpet, hardwoods, laminates, and luxury vinyl plank in stock now. Plus, Brothers Floor Covering can get your new flooring installed in as little as 2 weeks. Visit Brothers Floor Covering today at their new location, 8550 North Michigan Road. Discover why buying local means getting more, not paying more. Get the flooring of your dreams installed now. Go to brothers-floorcovering.com. That's brothers-floorcovering.com.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group. But before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. And when Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. Every pre-owned Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, every car, every truck, everything in the showroom, everything on the lot. Need credit? Managers will be on site, accepting applications for immediate review. Plus, Hubler's got you covered. Every Q-certified vehicle includes our 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota, everything goes. It's your chance to save like never before. Don't miss it. When Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. On US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. Before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more.
Start her engine by racing into Pierce Jewelers in Carmel for that perfect diamond engagement ring that will put you in the winner's circle. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Now through Monday, it's our tariff-free Made in the USA sale. Save 50% on Lazy Boy, Smith Brothers, and Flex Steel. Save up to $800 on mattresses, and we guarantee you the lowest price on Berlin Gardens and Pollywood outdoor furniture. Up to 4 years interest-free financing, extra discounts for cash, and free delivery. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Weather-wise, you could see a little bit of everything today. Right now, you're seeing a whole lot of nothing. Radar is clear, 69 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Highs in the mid-80s today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:31.
Damaging winds, 60 to 80 miles per hour are possible. Got large hail. Could even see some areas get 2 inches or greater hail. And tornadoes are also in the risk for today.
National Weather Service forecaster Casey Fuson talking about the timeline for the rough weather that's supposed to hit at some point early evening.
It could reach west central Indiana, probably like in the 5 to 7 p.m. time range, and then should see those storms exit off to the east probably around 11 p.m. to midnight.
And she says after the storms pass, this weekend looks great. You've probably heard about the sanctions that President Trump has placed on the Middle East, but now he says he's lifting them for Syria.
We want Syria to succeed. It's been a mess for 10 years and much longer than that.
And Israel has told Trump that they're fearful of recognizing Syria's new government because it's run by people who are involved with terrorism. The Supreme Court heard arguments yesterday over President Trump's executive order limiting birthright citizenship in the scope of judicial injunctions.
If we get a ruling like that, that will be a huge, huge victory to stop the latest iteration of lawfare that's being waged against the president.
And to be clear, this has to do with kids that were born to illegal immigrants living in the United States. That's Senator Eric Schmidt, a Republican from Missouri, speaking to Fox News. The court is expected to issue a ruling by the end of June. The FAA is looking into a plane crash in Terre Haute involving a World War II era aircraft. Here's Jarrett Lewis.
Airport authorities, along with Terre Haute police and fire, all responding to the crash of a World War II era Grumman TBM Avenger.
So a little bit before 2 o'clock, airport authorities were notified of a aircraft who had crashed on their property. They immediately responded. Their fire personnel, their airport personnel, they immediately provided aid.
Lieutenant Justin Sears with the Terre Haute Police Department says the pilot was airlifted to a hospital in Indianapolis. A passenger in the plane was also treated for minor injuries. The aircraft was one of 3 heading to a reunion event in Illinois, but is now considered unsalvageable. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A Motown legend may be in trouble. Smokey Robinson is officially facing a criminal investigation in Los Angeles. 4 former employees are suing him and his wife. They claim sexual battery, assault, false imprisonment, gender violence, and creating a hostile work environment. Sports on WIBC brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. The Indiana Fever locked in their roster yesterday just ahead of the opener against the Chicago Sky. Rookie Michaela Timpson is the only newcomer to make the cut. She shared what she hopes to bring to the team.
Rebound, run, and get those easy buckets and transition, and play great defense for the team. I'm willing to do whatever they need me to, no matter how many minutes that would be, but I'm going to give it my all every chance that I get.
And Timpson may not see a lot of time. She's backing up Aaliyah Boston and Natasha Howard. Tomorrow's game tips off at 3. The Indiana Fever are big favorites to win that game. It is Fast Friday at the Speedway. Drivers will get an extra boost ahead of the Indy 500 qualifying tomorrow. Thursday's full practice brought the first incident of the month when Kristen Rasmussen spun out in turn 2.
Been getting understeer through 2 all day, especially with where the wind direction is right now. So I was a little surprised by getting loose there. I just got loose in the middle of 2 and just kind of was walking the car up.
Rasmussen on FS1 yesterday. Game 6 of the NBA Eastern Conference semifinals tonight between the Celtics and the Knicks. The winner plays the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals starting next Wednesday. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go. And at WIBC.com at 7:35. Traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Ryan. Northbound 65, south side, slow. Raymond Street up to the south split. And then northbound 465 on the northwest side. Slow roll from 86th Street up to 865. Inbound 69 tight from 96th Street down to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture. Wicker, Berlin Gardens Poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Sunny, a high of 88 today, but there are chances of severe weather in this afternoon. Stay connected to Hammer and Nigel and all things 93 WIBC. You'll also hear from our friends at Wish TV by staying connected to the radio for anything severe weather related going on this afternoon. That temperature, by the way, brought to you by American Standards Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Our marketplace is brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed. Get unclaimed sweet, sweet cash by going to Indiana Unclaimed. I got some recently. I'd like to tell you the story of Jim. Jim is a guy that went on social media, and he wanted to sell something unique. He wants to sell it at the regular price. You'd buy it in a store. He's put a 1-gallon Miracle Whip salad dressing container up on social media, selling it for $18. Again, barely competing with Walmart's price of $18.23 for a 1-gallon jug of Miracle Whip. I have many questions. Matt Bear, what do you think of the Miracle Whip on Facebook Marketplace?
Hopefully, when you get this at your doorstep, it comes in just an Amazon box or some sort of box instead of being chilled.
Sure.
I'm going to yak. Hey, this is, I can't imagine something like this showing up. First off, what do you do with a gallon? Thank you, Carl. What do you do with a gallon of Miracle Whip? What kind of sandwich are you making? You use the spoiled Miracle Whip to cover up the taste of the spoiled meat on your burger. And it's kind of counterproductive. So I don't know why you would order this, but I'm not judging anybody. I'm not judging.
No. Well, that's the thing. Like, if you need a gallon of Miracle Whip and you want to pay $18 for it, you can get it at the Walmart. You can get that done. That's not a problem. I looked it up online. I don't know why you'd buy it at Facebook Marketplace from Jim. That's my biggest question about this. And again, for the same price, like, at least you got to compete, bud. If you're trying to sell your random Miracle Whip that you say is not expired, but in your description, you don't tell us when it does expire, which feels like part of the problem. You got to at least undercut by $5 or $6. I'm not paying more than 10 for this gallon of
I
Miracle
have
Whip.
a feeling that he bought it by accident, and his wife asked him to return it, and he's like, that's too much of a hassle. So I'm going to post it on Facebook Marketplace.
How do you buy a gallon of Miracle Whip by accident?
Well, his wife asked him to buy a Miracle Whip, and he got a gallon of it. She says, why do we need that much?
Oh, good Lord. Divorce.
Here's the thing. I understand what Carl's saying. He bought it by accident is what he told his wife. He bought it on purpose because he wanted that whole thing, and then he was told he can't have it, and he's dealing with that.
He has his hand in the jar while he's like, yeah, honey, I bought it on accident. He's just stuffing it in his mouth, using his hand. Sorry, babe.
Right.
I'm going to put this on Marketplace. We'll make a fortune.
Well, no. So I feel like this is all an elaborate lie to the missus. So she told him to return it, and he's like, well, I'll put it on Facebook Marketplace, but if nobody buys it, I'm keeping this gallon of Miracle Whip.
Our meteorologist on X, Tara Hastings from Wish TV, says, I hate Mayo Miracle Whip. I saw that last night. I saw that last night right before I went to bed. I thought the same thing. I hate Miracle Whip.
I hate it. Yeah, it's not. You don't want that anyway. But again, here's the craziest thing to me, and I love that you guys do this segment, and Indiana Unclaimed, great for bringing it to us and sponsoring it. Why do people sell so much stuff on Marketplace? It's not even like the Craigslist version of selling stuff that we had. It's a crazier. I saw a house in Indianapolis for sale, $1.2 million is the price of this thing. Who would buy that on Marketplace? Who would send like, is this still available message? Can I get this house?
1.2 million. Or best offer.
Right. Yeah, right.
We'll take a best offer here. Shipping is free.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Like, why does Marketplace now essentially replace every version of advertising anything for sale whatsoever? And also, Jim is trying to unload his $1-gallon Miracle Whip on the site.
You know what I think it is? Because I worked at really small radio stations that did these shows called, mine was called Trading Post. And we'd have a trading post where people would buy, sell, trade for free. 223s, but and pump the numbers, and people would call it and just sell their stuff. I really think the Marketplace is the new Trading Post.
Yes.
It really is. People, when Tony does, we have talked about all these things. It's like, where do you come up with this stuff? Right. But I think it's just a way for people to sell their junk. And if it's a couple of extra bucks in your pocket, I'm all for it, man. It's a good deal.
Yeah, sure. No, yeah. I guess I don't understand. There's a Parmesan cheese too, by the way, for sale. 4.5 pounds of that for $12 is out there too.
Why, dude?
If you want. I don't know. I don't know at all.
Is it real Parmesan cheese or just the stuff you sprinkle? Because if it's real,
yeah, there's also a toilet training kit for your cat, which I probably should have chosen this as the thing for sale.
Oh, fantastic!
It's got a picture of a kitten on a toilet, and it says for $20 you can buy a kit that'll train your cat to use the restroom.
Well, nothing makes me want to buy something for a cat than watch it to go to the bathroom. I mean, that's
there you go. Yeah, perfect. But yeah, to go back to what you were saying a second ago about how this is a replacement of those other things, I just think some people are bored. Like, I think they're like, I want to see what I could sell on Marketplace. Is someone going to buy this? We'll see. By the way, we should bring that show back. You should do that show on 93 WIBC.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. Let's trade some stuff, Matt. You can host a 1 hour.
Buy, sell, trade for free. It's the Trading Post.
Yeah. Do you do it like you're an auctioneer?
No. It's just people call in. You don't screen the calls. At the station I worked for, it didn't have the drop. When somebody calls it, it says the real naughty language. It's just kind of there, and like, oh man, I hope we don't get caught. It was. It was like working a job with just a mule and a microphone. There was nothing really to it. It was just you just go, you read the stuff, and there were like these huge gaps in the broadcast where you're just like writing things down. It was crazy, man. Okay. I mean, it was fun. It was a small town thing, and people in the small town just absolutely loved it.
It
was a service, and the station made money. Yes. Everybody was happy.
Right.
And it was just a great day, man. Let me tell you.
Everybody, honestly, I'm excited to pitch this with you to 93 WIBC, and I'm actually excited to start the pitch with, we take the phone calls and we do not screen them, and see what they say to that part. Like, we don't listen. We turn off the delay. It'll be great, guys. Don't worry about it.
We're calling the show Miracle Whip Mania.
We're calling the show Matt and Craig Get Fired in 1 hour.
Oh,
all right. Yeah. We'll take a break.
I can do that without a show. That's
But isn't it better to do it with a show?
Yeah,
if you have to? Yeah, okay. All right, we'll take a break.
Are you buying this? We have to always end on this. Are you buying or not buying?
Nah, I'm going to pass. Well, like I said, if Jim drops it down to $10, at least we're in a world where we're negotiating. But for now, no.
I will eat spoiled Miracle Whip for $10.
Yeah. If I'm saving $8, if I'm saving $8 compared to the Walmart price, now it's a good deal. Now I got to get in.
Those prices are going up, by the way. Yeah.
They are. I know they're not rolling back anything anymore. All right, quick break. A lot more. This was fun. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Life moves fast.
We move fast.
Get moving fast.
It's not business as usual.
So does the news.
I could be a stupid person and say, oh, no, we don't want a free plane.
Decisions made today
The United States and China announcing a 90-day pause.
could impact you tomorrow.
Goldman Sachs adjusting its 2025 economic outlook.
The issues, some solutions.
What's next?
I'll let you know at the appropriate time. Got to stay tuned.
We're already tracking it.
Strong borders.
Stay in the know while you're on the go on 93 WIBC.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a DSNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A DSNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials too. With a Humana DSNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Craig, we're slow coming down the south side, northbound 65 from Raymond up to the south split. That's because of road construction. And northbound 465, all of a sudden we're grinding after 79th up to 865. Looking at inbound 69, slow after 106th Street, 282nd. East side, northbound 465, slowing down heading into Lawrence from I-70 up to Bend Pike. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Sunny with a high near 88. There is a chance of severe weather this afternoon. Stay glued to all things 93 WIBC. Hammer and Nigel will cover it. They'll bring in our friends at Wish TV if we need them. All things will be right here on 93 WIBC. The temperature, by the way, 65 right now in downtown Indianapolis. Brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale, only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Saturday is the Sundown Gardens Spring Open House. Save 20% off everything in stock, excluding labor. Sundown Gardens, 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with national LTE coverage. Go to rapidradios.com and you'll get up to 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO for an additional 5% off.
The Home and Garden Show is on the road this Saturday. They'll be broadcasting live from 9 to 1 at Miss M's Home and Garden Spring Open House in Bargersville. Enjoy the Pearl Coffee Company, Mallow Run Winery, and Chomp's Food Truck. There'll be door prizes, giveaways, and more.
Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt, you got Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. It's probably fun to talk about NBA basketball teams that are doing terrible or struggling right now with how great the Pacers are doing and the fact that they look like a very, very good team as they're waiting to find out who their opponent will be in the Eastern Conference Finals. I bring all this up to say, I don't know if you guys saw this story yesterday, but the Lakers posted a job for a head strength and conditioning coach, something you almost never see NBA basketball teams do, post a position like this to the public. And the description of it, even better for people that think that Luka Doncic is someone who's not in the shape he's supposed to be in. It says that you have to motivate players to work out, more or less. I'm paraphrasing it, because some professional NBA athletes might not be motivated to do things like lift the way that they should. So you have to effectively motivate them to get the maximum potential out of them in all areas of performance. Again, something the Pacers don't seem to be struggling with, but other teams do. What's your reaction to a public job post by a professional sports organization for a head strength and conditioning coach?
First off, as somebody who went through the Paul George era here in Indianapolis, this Pacers team is so easy to cheer for, and they are so likable, and they are so much fun. And we have guys like Pascal Siakam and, just Tyrese Halliburton in general. And they are so fun to cheer for, and it is so easy for this city to get behind the Indiana Pacers right now. As far as the strength and conditioning coach, so you can work harder, I don't get that, man. I don't understand it. You are a professional. When you're a professional, you go earn your money, and if you're not good enough, you practice on your off hours and you keep refining your product until you can be the best you can absolutely be. I'm not wasting my money on this, because if you're not putting the hours in, I'm cutting you, and that's really all there is to it. I don't think we should have somebody that says, hey, get your ass into the weight room. That's just too much. That's too much for... You are supposed to do your job, and you are supposed to perform at your level, and there shouldn't be another person out there other than your head coach maybe to remind you to be a professional. I don't understand this at all.
No, it's insane. It's actually insane to see the Lakers go to this level too, and it almost seems like it's intent to be public humiliation of Luka and all the different discussions about if he's in shape or not, and some of the things that were said after the Lakers were eliminated, because you don't need to hire someone if you're that type of organization this way. You don't need to get applications online. You can talk to some people in the area that you'd like to be the strength and conditioning coach for the Lakers, and they'll probably all be interested in the job and eventually pick which one you want and hire that person. You do not have to do it as a public job post on like Indeed.com. That feels like a huge part of the mistake there. But I just couldn't get over it, man. And the fact that the playoffs aren't even over yet, it's even more embarrassing to the Lakers, because now it's a story when we're paying attention to the NBA. By the way, I know you said, go ahead.
I was just going to say, did they not know what they were getting here? I mean, did he all of a sudden just move to L.A. and say, I'm not going to train and condition anymore? I mean, did he not have this habit when he was in Dallas?
Yes, he did.
Do you not have people? Do you not have scouts? Do you not have your own trainers and conditioning people to look at this man and say, hey, before we trade for him, I don't think he has the best workout habits in the NBA right now, and they need to be improved. That could be a red flag. I mean, I'm not... To me, this is a Lakers problem more than the player individual problem. And it's the Lakers, if they're not getting enough out of them, well, then you have to kind of look at yourself as a franchise and organization. That's all there is to it. You made the decision.
Amen.
You made the trade.
Amen. By the way,
Talk
real quick,
radio, yeah.
I know it's a little bit of that. By the way, you said this real quick, and I can't help but get over it either, that it's so easy to cheer for the Pacers, and that is true. Indiana basketball right now, man, with Caitlin Clark about to debut over the weekend and the Pacers doing their thing. It is very easy to cheer for both of those teams. I think someone connected to the WNBA claimed that Caitlin Clark is the most famous basketball player on earth right now. I don't know that that's true. That might be a bit of an exaggeration, but she's certainly in the discussion of people that a whole lot of individuals who don't, regularly follow the sport actually know the name of, which is part of being that famous. But talk about like how great it is to be a basketball fan in Indy right now and watch both of these teams.
With Caitlin Clark, outside of her phenomenal skill set on the court, one thing she has done that is so right is really made an effort to become Indianapolis and Indiana. And that's really endearing to Hoosiers like myself and people from Indiana. We want to see people that want to be a part of us And that's what she has done so beautifully. And just like how she supports the Pacers. She called in Pacers postgame show the other night when Pacers clinched against the Cavaliers. Actually, it's the game before where she called into the world's greatest postgame show with Eddie White. And
Nice.
just kind of talked about the game. It was so much fun. And everybody,
That's awesome.
anytime Caitlin Clark is speaking or doing something, even if it's just off the basketball court, people's ears perk up because she's such a role model for young people playing basketball, young girls, young women who want to play basketball. And she just does so much. She is such an asset to Indiana and Indianapolis, and we're blessed to have her. We really are.
How famous do you think she is for all basketball players in the country right now? Do you think she's actually up there on that list of one of the most famous people that plays that sport?
Does she transcend just basketball as far as celebrity?
I think she does.
You know, everybody knows Caitlin Clark is a household name now, man. And it's not just in the realm of sports. I mean, she is so good and she is so visible that everybody knows the name Caitlin Clark. So I can't think of a name other than maybe LeBron James and some of the other, really, really superstar names that would even compete with Caitlin Clark. Because let's face it, Caitlin Clark's brand is much bigger than LeBron James's right now. I really believe that. Yeah.
It's crazy to say that, too, by the way. No offense. But, the WNBA is certainly not the same product as the NBA, and the money isn't the same, and all that stuff's not the same. But if it's ever going to get there, having someone as transcendently famous as Caitlin Clark seems to be the right approach. Now it's Sports Talk Radio. We will take a break so we don't keep doing it.
Well,
but
we're talking about Indy here. It's Indianapolis.
That's true. And it is an interesting question. I'd love if, the audience at WIBC gave us that. Is Caitlin Clark one of, say, the top 5 most famous basketball players on the planet right now? I think a lot of people would say yes to that. All right, we'll take a break. A lot more. Matt's got some traffic for us.
All right, northbound 65 south side slow. Raymond Street up to the south split because of road construction. Inbound 69 slows. 96th Street down to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group. But before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. And when Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. Every pre-owned Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, every car, every truck, everything in the showroom, everything on the lot. Need credit? Managers will be on site, accepting applications for immediate review. Plus, Hubler's got you covered. Every Q-certified vehicle includes our 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota, everything goes. It's your chance to save like never before. Don't miss it. When Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. On US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. Before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
You love spring and Indies, so don't spend it painting. Do what your neighbor Mike did. He called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
The process with Rhino Shield and their crew, they were just very conscientious. We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
Way better than paint, backed by a 25-year warranty. Right now, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
The thing about Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hammer and Nigel show this afternoon, 3:06. It's Beer Sample Friday. Johnette Cruz from the newsroom. She's going to do Celebrity Beer Bong, and Jeff Boggs is in for Nigel.
Miss M's annual open house is Saturday. Save 20% off everything in stock, excluding labor. Saturday only. Miss M's on State Road 135, south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey. Hey, Rob, do you want to talk about how Bruce Springsteen attacked Donald Trump in another country?
No.
Okay, join us Friday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, everything is on the table as far as severe weather goes today and what forecasters are saying about a timeline. 2 people stabbed in Indianapolis, and Chris Davis has a report of a long-standing tradition in the Indianapolis 500 after Fox News. 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 8 o'clock.
Heading home. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Trump's on his way back to the U.S. after a 3-nation Middle East trip ending in the United Arab Emirates. He says on Air Force One, he'll meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin as soon as he can about ending the war with Ukraine.
He and I will meet. I think we'll solve it, or maybe not, but at least we'll know. And if we don't solve it, it'll be very interesting.
Low-level Ukraine peace talks are happening today in Turkey. The president also says Iran's been given a nuclear deal proposal to consider. The Secret Service is investigating former FBI Director James Comey over a social media post with a photo of seashells he saw on the beach, forming the numbers 8647, taken to mean 86, get rid of, 47, the 47th president, Donald Trump. Homeland Security Secretary Tulsi Gabbard on Fox says Comey prosecuted mobsters and gangsters.
People who know and execute other humans and use this exact lingo of 86.
Comey deleted the post and says it never occurred to him that it could be associated with violence. A Supreme Court decision is expected by late June or early July near the end of the term, whether lower courts have the right to block President Trump's order ending birthright citizenship.
Justice Samuel Alito questioned the wisdom of nationwide injunctions.
And the practical problem is that there are 680 district court judges, and they are dedicated and they are scholarly, and I'm not impugning their motives in any way, but sometimes they're wrong.
Justice Elena Kagan asked the U.S. Solicitor General, if nationwide injunctions aren't the way to go, what is?
Does every single person that is affected by this EO have to bring their own suit?
Justice Thomas noted the increasing use of such injunctions, discovering they hadn't even been used until the 1960s. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
An audit in Maryland finds at least 36 deaths in police custody should have been classified as homicides. It looked at the 17 years when Dr. David Fowler was the state's chief medical examiner. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Tornadoes are possible tonight. Your radar is clear. 69 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today, 84. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:02. Tornadoes are possible as a strong storm system moves through late today and into tonight.
Further south, we've got that moderate risk, which would be a 4 out of 5. So just better chances for severe storms further south, but we are still in a good chance for severe weather this evening here in Indianapolis.
Forecaster Casey Fuson at the National Weather Service Indianapolis says the storms move out by midnight, and this weekend looks really nice. A person is in custody after stabbing 2 people in a failed burglary attempt. Here's Jarrett Lewis.
According to IMPD, the attempted burglar ended up stabbing a man and a woman multiple times on the city's east side early Friday morning and then fled to an abandoned apartment. While trying to avoid police, the suspect broke a window of the apartment in order to escape, but injured himself and was eventually taken into custody. The 2 victims were taken to a hospital. The extent of their injuries is unknown. It's also unclear what type of weapon the suspect used in the double stabbing. Police are now investigating. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A plane crash in Terre Haute Thursday injured 2 people.
Both suffered injuries. However, one is at the hospital being treated, and Terre Haute Fire Department did transport one to Lifeline, who's being treated.
That's Lieutenant Justin Sears of the Terre Haute Police Department. He says the crash involved a World War era II plane that was on its way to a reunion event in Illinois, and 2 other people were on the aircraft. The FAA is looking into this. More than 20 violent illegal immigrants arrested recently in Indiana. Here's John Herrick.
On Thursday afternoon, the FBI in Indianapolis said that between April 29th and May 1st, they arrested 23 people in Evansville and Bloomington.
So we had about 18 people with prior criminal arrests or convictions. Some of those most egregious ones had multiple criminal arrests and criminal history.
Special agent in charge Dominique Evans says those included things like fraud, drunk driving, and cocaine trafficking. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
If you need to fill up today in Indianapolis, expect to pay about $3.06 across the capital city, says Gas Buddy, up slightly from last week. The people who present the milk to the winner of the Indianapolis 500 are appreciative of the tradition. Here's Chris Davis.
The milk for the winner on race day.
It's always an Indiana dairy farmer, and we're representing 700 dairy farm families across the state of Indiana.
Abby Herb, the veteran milk presenter this year, talking to Wish TV.
I'm the 4th generation, raising the 5th generation. I have 2 little girls, well, not little anymore, but I have 2 daughters, so it's super exciting. This is going to be their first race.
She says the winner gets to choose from whole, 2%, or skim milk to drink. That tradition goes back to 1936. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
With everything going on in the city right now, the Indiana Fever tip off their season tomorrow at 3 against the Chicago Sky downtown. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com at 8:05. Traffic on the 5s. What are you watching for us, Matt Bear?
Right now, Ryan, we're checking out the northwest side. It is slow. Northbound 465. Slow in pockets. It's not awful at the moment. 79 to 865. Inbound 69, slowing down after 106th Street, 282nd. Eastbound 465, tight before and after Allisonville Road. East side, northbound 465, slow roll 72 Penn Pike. And in the south side construction zone, northbound 65, stop and go traffic from Raymond Street into the south split. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping at code radio. And get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, good morning, Craig. We are quiet so far. It's a little warm, a little humid, but we should be dry for a lot of the daytime hours here for your Friday. We'll go mostly sunny to partly cloudy. Muggy, today's high 86. Be on alert for thunderstorms, a pretty strong line of thunderstorms moving in basically between the hours of 5 p.m. to as late as 11 p.m. All modes of severe weather are in play in that window, so make sure you have a way to get warnings. By midnight and after, we'll quiet things down. A low down to 62. The weekend looks far better. Saturday, sunny, breezy, cooler, less humid, a high of 73. Sunday, mostly sunny, calm, and comfortable, a high of 75.
Thank you very much, Marcus. Right now, it is 8:07 Friday morning.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. We have to talk about the post that James Comey put up and then took down from Instagram, the 8647. So essentially, this is what happened. First, I'll give you the information. And by the way, when you hear things like this secondhand And I imagine people who hear this story will eventually share it with other people that they know. Those individuals, if you choose not to look into this, it might be hard to digest the truth of this. You might think to yourself, that can't be real, or that can't be something that actually happened, et cetera, et cetera. But it's real, and it did. And one of the reasons it went viral is Donald Trump Jr. shared it on social media before Comey deleted it. And by the way, if you don't remember who James Comey is, he's the former FBI director who seemed to really hate Donald Trump. Anyway, Comey put up a photo of seashells on a beach. The comment says, cool shell formation, and then it reads 8647. Some people are trying to claim that this is simply a reject of Donald Trump. 86 means to do much more than just reject someone. It means to kill someone. This is something that definitely people in the world of the FBI would consider. So they are taking this seriously, I've heard. The investigation will look into what the intention of this is. But it really seems that the former FBI director is calling for the killing of our current president via social media. And again, I say this as the best way I can. I think sometimes in our society, and this is probably because there are people that trade in this sort of thing. There are people that take advantage of it, where you sensationalize everything and exaggerate and say stuff that's, blatantly untrue. So essentially, you're just feeding whatever the beast is of the crazy that exists in our society. Because of that, I think a lot of people will dismiss this story. I think that a lot of individuals, especially on the left, the Trump derangement syndrome people, won't believe it's true or won't care about it or whatever. But there's no way to actually underplay the significance of this. The real truth of it, the fact that it did happen, that Comey both posted and then deleted it from his social media page, all of those things. And I think someone has even pointed out it's been 8,647 days since 9/11 on social media, which is, horrible to consider if that's intentional as well. And I'm sure a lot of people will. But nonetheless, and again, the thing that matters most to me about this is that it can be interpreted very simplistically as Comey calling for the killing of President Trump. And that should be entirely, utterly rejected by society as a whole. And it won't be. And that'll matter more than anything else, I think, as far as the story goes, is not just the reality of the information, but the lack of resounding rejection by society itself. I'm sure it will be rejected by Trump supporters and by a decent amount of people, but not everybody, not mainstream media the way it's supposed to be, not any of those individuals who say that they're the arbiters of justice or the people that are trying to do what at all costs protect society. This will not happen. This will not be the case. So again, incredibly important story, incredibly hard to digest for some as far as the little nuances of it, but fairly easy once you actually take a step back and reflect on the fact that the former director of the FBI put up a post with intentionally designed seashells that seemed to be calling for the killing of our current president. And that's how crazy society is now. That's the world we're in now. And again, it won't be resoundingly rejected the way it should be. It'll be denied. It'll be, changed into something else. As I said, some coverage already saying that simply means to reject and not to actually harm. But ridiculous, horrific. I don't even have the words to talk about the reality of this being as unsurprising and surprising as it can be at the same time. But all right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. This story, very important. Check it out for yourself. Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Now through Monday, it's our tariff-free Made in the USA sale. Save 50% on Lazy Boy, Smith Brothers, and Flex Steel. Save up to $800 on mattresses, and we guarantee you the lowest price on Berlin Gardens and Hollywood Outdoor Furniture. Up to 4 years interest-free financing, extra discounts for cash, and free delivery. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Hey, it's Matt Bear for Concrete Exteriors. Have recent storms caused damage to your roofing or siding? Do you have a leaky roof? Cochran Exteriors is now offering free inspections to assess the condition of your home. They're blown-offs, maybe full replacements. Cochran Exteriors knows the insurance process and will make your home as good as new as fast as possible. Help your home find the fountain of roof for your free, no-obligation consultation. Schedule today at CochranExteriors.com or call 317-ROOFING. Cochran Exteriors, referred for a reason for over 15 years.
You probably have a dream retirement in mind, but do you know how to get there? The difference between dreaming and living your ideal retirement comes down to having the right plan. And that's where Howard Bailey Financial can help. At Howard Bailey Financial, we've created a free retirement toolkit to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Text DREAM to 888-262-1104 to download your free retirement toolkit that includes a retirement checklist, Social Security decisions guide, estate planning guide, and more. We want your dream retirement to be your reality. And it starts by texting DREAM to 888-262-1104. Let us help you take the next step toward the retirement of your dreams. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
You may not have 1,000 horsepower, but you're always racing, whether it's to work, to pick something up, or drop someone off. So go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're racing to, go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Not bad, Craig. We checked northbound 465 on the east side, slow 70 up to Penn Pike. About 69 slow from 96 to 465, and construction zone on the south side. It gets bigger over the weekend. More on that coming up at 8:30 with Ryan Hendrick and WIBC News. Right now, northbound 65 south side slow from Raymond Street to the south split for the construction. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. And go to radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Sunny, a high of 88 for the forecast today, although by the afternoon there are some projections of some really severe weather being possible. 65 right now, the temperature in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. And do stay connected to all things this radio station. Hammer and Nigel this afternoon as we get you any and all severe weather coverage, and our friends at Wish TV help out too. Stay right here at 93 WIBC for any of that information throughout the day.
I'm a proud owner of B-Window.
I'm a proud B-Window owner.
I'm a proud B-Window owner.
When you work with a local employee-owned home improvement company like B-Window, quality comes first because your home improvements are a reflection of our business. And for a limited time, we're extending our employee discount to you, up to 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust local, trust employee-owned, trust your home to be.
Trust me. Training for a new job after 55 can be challenging. But through the Senior Community Service Employment Program, or CSEP, unemployed workers 55 and over can receive on-the-job training in preparation for a new role. You even get paid for your training time. To see if you qualify, call 765-830-WORK. That's 765-830-WORK. Then, armed with a new set of skills, get out there and start your second act.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant.
who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird. The bird's a winner. Well, a bird is a winner.
Tony Katz, the morning news, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A whole bunch of stuff to talk about. You got Matt, you got Carl hanging out, as they always do on this show. You guys heard about the 100 men versus a gorilla thing, right? You guys know this?
Yeah.
Okay. The 100 men versus one gorilla was a viral question on social media. Could 100 dudes defeat one gorilla in combat? Most people said no, although I think a lot of people are wrong because the gorilla is going to get tired. And so we actually, I think, would win that fight. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up, there's a brand new question on social media that people are debating. And this one might be more interesting to some. 100 U.S. women versus 100 British women. Who wins in that fight? And U.S. women are saying the Brits seem nicer, so we're definitely winning that throwdown.
Well, that's not even a really competitive response. I mean, I'd like to hear something like, yeah, we're gonna knock those Tories around right out of their country, you know, or something like that. Yeah, something really American and aggressive. That's what I want. I don't know what measures a better athlete or a fighter from America or Great
I don't
Britain.
know.
Is there context here, a little more detail? Or are they just saying, we're going to beat your butts?
There were some comments that went viral from some women saying they don't need to send the heavy hitters from the United States, meaning people from places like Chicago. They said that places like Idaho would be just fine as far as the women are concerned, fighting off the Brits. Yes, that's real. You know what's funny about this? And this was my genuine reaction to it. And I'm not trying to turn this into something that sounds woke, but really isn't. There's no other world where you could have a conversation in today's society where you talk about 100 women fighting 100 other women than the internet. On the internet, they're like, it's fine. That'll be okay.
Yeah.
People get fired over jokes like this, I think, other places, but this, it's fine. And the debate is who wins, and everybody in our country thinks we would win. Although I do think we're right about that. There's not a lot of great female British athletes. Are there? Can you think of a lot of them?
Well, that's where my head went. I'm trying to think of who Team USA would be and who Team Great Britain would be. And, you know, I mean, I'm sending Ronda Rousey. You know, that's going to be one of mine for the UFC.
Yeah, why not?
Anybody in the WWE, for that matter. Serena Williams is a hell of an athlete. She goes.
She is.
I want the gymnast. What's her name, Craig?
Which one?
The super talented gymnast from America, Gabby. I think it is. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like you said, Team USA. We have these really huge athletic names. I just think that we would inst them at least by a hair. I think we.
I think you were trying to think of Simone Biles, by the way.
Yes, that's.
Was that the one? Okay. Yeah, she's little though. She's like. Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Carl?
Yeah, gymnasts.
Yeah, she's like 5 feet tall, man.
Yeah.
Like she's not going to intimidate people going over. I know she can kick and stuff. Like she's going to do some tricks, but still, like she's not going to look imposing.
She could take any three of us blindfolded. I guarantee it.
Any three? Like you mean all three of us blindfolded?
Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, say it's the three of us against Simone Biles. I'm picking Simone Biles.
She just has a kick in a.
Well, I know.
She just has a kick.
This feels like the worst thing to talk about on the radio possible, but I think the three of us could take her. I actually think we could, and I'm going to move on from that before it gets more horrible.
I'm saying we can't. I'm putting this on FanDuel. No.
I know.
Isn't Simone down in Houston? You could ask her.
Yeah. Carl, you're making this worse for me. You're not going the right road with this.
Because you live in Texas and she lives in Texas. You have a direct pipeline to Simone Biles.
Yeah. I can't wait to see the news story. Radio host talks about if he can beat up Simone Biles. Anyway,
why did you say that on the radio?
I have no interest in fighting this person. Anyway, I want to go back to something.
I didn't even want to do the segment. It was Craig.
I want to go back to something else. The 100 guys fighting one gorilla. Did you guys talk about this on the air at all? Was this debated on WIBC? No,
not on this show.
When I picture it, it's like you say, if fighting a gorilla. I mean, we're not like surrounding it with landmines or anything. We're talking hand-to-hand combat.
It's hand-to-hand combat. Yes, this went viral a couple weeks ago. I assume Hammer and Nigel at least touched on this
I'm
topic.
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
I mean,
if not,
I would lose that too. I would lose that one too, I'm sure.
Okay, here's the thing. And for anyone out there wondering why we're talking about this, I can't help it. And you guys are the right group of people to have this discussion with. Gorillas get very tired very quickly. I have read this several times now after this first went viral. They're really like, bursts of energy animals. So, like, if you're the 15th to 20th dude that's fighting the gorilla, you have a decent shot of starting to do damage. So by the 100th guy, we're defeating a gorilla in a fight. This is what I believe to be true, and this is what I've heard to be true, and yet it was viral all over the internet. So I think that's the correct answer, though. Like 100 of us, we don't even have to do it where everybody fights the gorilla at once. We want to wait. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. A gorilla is not going to play nice. He can eat your face.
I know he can. True. That's why you send the first 15 to 20 people into the fight knowing they're screwed. And then the rest of us wait back and we fight the tired gorilla, and that's going to go way better. This is the answer for everything involved in this story, I guess. All right, I'll move on.
Well, I mean, the gorilla can rip your face off without even really trying. I mean, I've seen a picture of that. It was awful. I haven't been able to get it out of my head. And secondly, if you're really banking on the fact that the gorilla is going to be tired by the time you get to it, then you're getting your butt kicked and you're probably going to be killed. I mean, the gorilla, it doesn't take much to knock one of us over. We are not professional athletes, the three of us. I
know, but it's a tired gorilla. So I feel like eventually,
But the first guy, he's going to have his face eaten off.
Oh, the first 10 to 15 guys are screwed. Yeah. It's after that guy that, okay, anyway. One other quick thing. I can play this audio, too. All apologies to Simone Biles as well, by the way, for this segment.
I love the woman.
It's great.
I cheer for her like a crazy man.
American hero. The three of us versus her with her blindfolded, I think we do win that fight.
No,
anyway, get back. She's blindfolded, man.
I don't care. Yeah, she's a professional athlete. She can do things on vaults.
All right. This other story I do want to talk about just quickly. A homeowner in Los Angeles who went on vacation showed back up at their house, and they said inside their home was a naked dude in their bed, which is uniquely bad in and of itself. But they also said that they had ransacked the entire home, and here's the weirdest part, had chewed like 60 wads of bubble gum and just spit them throughout the home. So ransacked, ate stuff, and just naked dude in the bed. And when you open the door and see the guy and the whole house is destroyed, he also got mad and yelled profanities at you to get out of his house, and then eventually got arrested.
Thank you, Carl.
What are your thoughts to coming home to a naked dude in your bed who has ruined your house and for some reason chewed a whole lot of gum that wasn't even in the house in the first place?
Mommy said Santa's here early this year,
That's got to be your new tagline. Can you end your traffic with that, Matt Bear? Mama says Santa came early this year.
It didn't play. It just didn't play. Especially when you're talking about road construction in Hancock County.
There you go.
Listen, he's chewing gum and he's throwing it all over the place. There are worse things to hurl around the bedroom when you're.
I guess the only other question I have is who would win in a fight, this naked guy or Simone Biles? But we won't answer that question ourselves. We'll leave that to someone else. Yeah. Hands down, easy. I don't know if she wants to fight a naked dude that's spitting gum everywhere. I imagine you leave that dude alone.
She's a god.
You can't get out of this. It's like a car that I can't steer another direction. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. Craig Collins filling in, I think, maybe for the last time on Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC. Matt's got traffic.
All right, Craig, looking to northbound 65, slow on the south side, Raymond Street up to the south split because of construction. And then northbound 465, slow, 86th Street up to 865. You peel off East End, it's tight to Michigan Road. On the east side, northbound 465, slow, roll Washington Street up to Penn Pike, and we have a stall. It's eastbound 465 at Keystone Avenue on the left shoulder. No delay there. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. See their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey. Hey, Rob, do you want to talk about how Bruce Springsteen attacked Donald Trump in another country?
No.
Okay, join us Friday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Greetings, Boomtown. Ever since this neighborhood switched to Xfinity Internet,
the Wi-Fi is booming!
Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile with one all-in plan.
So we've all got lightning-fast, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile.
You get the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best in-class equipment and unlimited data included. Plus, add an unlimited mobile line.
All for only $40 a month for 1 year. To celebrate this combo, we're mashing our shows together.
It's everything you need all in one plan. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with a premium unlimited line. Now, sit back and relax with the smooth, relaxing sound
of face-melting acid metal!
Brilliant.
Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Ends June 23rd with paperless billing and autopay to stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet gateway required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year rate increases to $110 a month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual Wi-Fi speeds vary. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed broadband experience report August 2024.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s. And less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-973-9819. And you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9819. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9819 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-9819.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP $105,575, Nautilus MSRP $61,995, Corsair MSRP $47,820. Offers good through May 31st, 2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
This May, you've got a chance to see what an IndyCar driver's dream garage really looks like. WIBC's Tales from the Track, presented by Relay Indiana, takes you inside Graham Rahal Performance, a high-octane hangout where racing meets luxury. Hammer and Nigel sit down with Graham for great stories, laughs, and insights from someone who grew up on the hallowed grounds of the IMS. But this backstage pass to speed, style, and surprises is sold out. The only place to register to win tickets is WIBC.com.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
When you could expect severe weather to move in. Nothing severe on radar right now. It's clear, 69 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today, 84. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31. There's some rough weather headed your way. It'll be here later today. Casey Fuson at the National Weather Service says you'll notice the wind speeds pick up later.
But then as we get into the storms, any of the stronger storms could produce wind gusts as high as 60 to 80 miles per hour.
And she says all threats are on the table, including tornadoes. The Secret Service and the Department of Homeland Security are looking into former FBI Director James Comey over a social media post that he made Thursday. Here's Fox's Brooke Singman.
The former FBI director posted a picture of shells arranged on a beach that read 8647, along with the caption, "Cool shell formation on my beach walk." Comey posting that to his 130,000 Instagram followers before deleting it a little while later. Now, that post raised red flags to many, as the number 86 is a common call sign used for murder or to get rid of someone, while the number 47 is seen as a reflection of Trump's current term in office. Comey took to social media after deleting the post, writing, quote, "I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence, so I took the post down."
Two different people tried to kill Donald Trump when he was running for president last year. More than 20 violent illegal immigrants arrested in Bloomington and in Evansville.
These are people that are definitely violent offenders that we wanted to remove to make our cities and our streets safer.
FBI in Indianapolis Special Agent in charge Dominique Evans says those arrests were thanks in large part to the DEA, ATF, and ICE. A World War II era aircraft is considered useless after crashing into an airport in Terre Haute Thursday. Lieutenant Justin Sears says airport police and fire authorities responded quick to render aid to two people that were hurt.
We're thankful that everybody was okay at this point. They're being treated. Hopefully they have a full recovery. And unfortunately, we plan for incidents like this. So working as with all the other agencies, we're thankful for their response as well.
And the pilot was airlifted to an Indianapolis hospital. A Southside construction zone is getting bigger this weekend. Here's Matt Bear.
That Southside construction zone on I-65 is expanding this weekend.
Improving safety and efficiency there on 65.
Starting Monday morning, we'll be down to 2 lanes on the northbound side from north of I-465 to the south split. The southbound side will be reduced to 2 lanes as well starting next weekend.
So expanding to 4 lanes on northbound and southbound I-65.
Natalie Garrett of INDOT says the ramp from northbound I-65 to Keystone Avenue will also close over the weekend until sometime in August. The lane reductions are expected to continue through the end of next year. Matt Bear, WIBC Traffic.
And we'll go right back to Matt in a minute. Sports on WIBC brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. The Indiana Fever tip off the regular season at home tomorrow against the Chicago Sky. Head coach Stephanie White, a Purdue legend and former Fever star, says it's great to be back at home.
It's going to be an incredible atmosphere. There's no doubt about it. There's a lot of great things happening in the city with what the Pacers are doing, you know, with our team and the Indy 500, just everything that May in Indiana is about and encompasses. But at the end of the day, that all happens before. And as soon as the tip goes up, it's about Chicago.
And tomorrow's game tips off at 3. The Fever are 7.5-point favorites. The Indianapolis 500 held a full day of practice Thursday. Finally, after all the rain we've been getting, Pato O'Ward posted the 4th fastest time overall. Here's what he had to say ahead of Fast Friday.
I've done no qualifying stuff. It changes a lot with the boost. It could feel good today, like trimming-wise, but then tomorrow you put the boost on and it's like, what the hell's happened to the car?
Drivers will receive a boost today, which could lead to speeds of over 232 miles an hour. Qualifying is tomorrow. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com at 8:35. Traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Ryan, south side, slow on northbound 65. Raymond into the south split for construction. The east side, northbound 465, slow going into Lawrence after I-70 up to Penn Pike. Westbound 465 on the north side, slow off 31 to Michigan Road. Eastbound 465, slow before and after Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Sunny with a high of 88 today. There is some severe weather, at least projected or expected this afternoon. So stay here to 93 WIBC. Hammer and Nigel and our friends at Wish TV will help out with that too. If anything crazy or bad happens at all. 65 the temperature right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. We're going to go ahead and give away some tickets now for Carb Day, the Miller Lite Carb Day party that exists on the 23rd, right before the Indianapolis 500. This is going to be a blast. Brett Michaels, All-American Rejects are both performing. You get access to a bunch of stuff. You get fancy, I think, like bar viewing and your own bar dedicated to just the VIP entrants who get in there. The 8th caller right now to 317-239-9393. 317-239-9393 wins a pair of tickets to Miller Lite's Carb Day for the Indianapolis 500 on the 23rd next week. All right, that's it for now. Let's take a quick break and more coming up in a sec. I mean, let's do a segment. How about that? I love that. When the producer's like, we're not breaking, bud. You can't break after you give away the tickets. Right. All right, let's do some stuff. Let's talk about things. First, and I think this is important, I just mentioned it earlier, but I want to mention it again. James Comey put up a post on social media in which he claimed to have found seashells that had 8647 as the numbers written out. He said it was an interesting whatever thing. 86, of course, to a lot of people, especially a former director of the FBI, would mean to kill someone. And then 47 is, of course, the current president of the United States, Donald Trump. After he took the post down and people said that it seemed like he was advocating for someone else to attempt to harm the current president, he actually put up another post explaining it as him not being aware that 86 means to be violent towards someone, which is insane. Again, the former director of the FBI claiming he's unaware of the slang way in which 86 can be used to call for bodily harm and or killing of someone is one of the more ridiculous things we've seen in our society. But this will be investigated. You hope that there's actually a punishment, a significant one that comes from this. And it has to be a story that people care about. And it has to be the kind of thing that doesn't become noise, that doesn't become, wow, my uncle, who I think is crazy, is talking about this thing that no one else is talking about because mainstream media is ignoring it. And so maybe it's just a conspiracy theory. Maybe it's something I can dismiss when the reality is that it's one of the more significant crazy things that you've seen from someone in a position of power just a short time ago trying to advocate for the harming of our current president. And as you heard even in our newscast, and as you obviously know, two people plan to try to kill President Trump while he was running for the office. So this is even more surreal and horrible and awful. And yet another part of it just simply isn't surprising. And I don't know how to say that any differently, but it's just simply not. And I guess one way I can couch that thought. So President Trump is going to be ending his trip to the Middle East. He got a plane, which was something that everybody seemed to talk about, although they didn't actually give it to him. Just real quick, and I don't know if you think it's a Trump fanboy that would say something like this. I doubt many people in this audience would care about that. But I love the fact that everybody created a conspiracy or a problem that doesn't actually exist. If a foreign country gives us a gift, which has happened before, the Statue of Liberty was a gift that we were given, and it's not given directly to a person, there's no way to claim that it's a bribe. Yes, President Trump will use it as Air Force One. And yes, it sounds like it will be retired to his presidential museum, which he doesn't own when he leaves office, which is uniquely amusing to me if he's orchestrating that himself, that no one else can use it. But again, it's not actually a bribe. There's no quid pro quo, and there's no ability to say that Trump personally benefits from it. He benefits within the role he serves as the president of our country. And then once he's not the president, he won't be allowed to keep flying on it because it's not his plane to take. But I just love how that became a bigger story than any of the, peace deals or any of the things that are actually occurring. The trade deals that are becoming such a huge component of the early stages of this second presidency for our for Donald Trump. And here's the last thing I'll say about it. What's amazing is the desperation of media to find a way to trash someone on a constant basis through derangement syndrome or whatever you want to call it, who is right now currently succeeding to a degree that not many expected, even on his side of the aisle. There were a lot of people that came out to say how tariffs were terrible and awful and how, all these bad things were going to happen. And yet now we're looking at trade deal after trade deal that seems far better than ones we've had before. China seems to be bending the knee more than anyone ever would have thought Trump could get China to bend the knee. And we have a 10% tariff that's likely going to stay for a lot of the rest of the world, which is another thing that President Trump wanted to do. And it's tied to eventually lowering taxes even more on Americans, generating money through consistent tariffs on the rest of the world. It seems like there's a lot of winning going on here. And you can say that as a fanboy, or you can say that as a person just being honest. It's just crazy that instead of those discussions, mainstream media was more fixated on whether or not a plane gift was somehow bad, even though it's evidently not at all illegal by any stretch of the actual imagination, because we've gotten gifts before and we'll get gifts again from foreign countries. They'll give things to the United States. They didn't actually give anything to Trump. All right, I'll take a break. A little bit coming up after this. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
The grass grows taller. Fathers take sons for their first trip to the Speedway. Sons take fathers to their 50th. Family traditions wrapped in checkered black and white. This is May in Indiana.
Starting to form in a perfect formation.
And this is your station for the month of May.
Green flag flies.
The radio home of the Indianapolis 500 for over 70 years. 93 WIBC.
The quickly changing economic policy and the crankiness of the markets can make us feel a little insecure about where our retirement portfolio is headed. It's just one more thing to worry about. Take that thing off your plate with a call to Trajan Wealth, the fiduciary advisors who act in your best interest. Matt Bear here. Hey, Trajan Wealth is about you, your dreams, and timeline for the future for your golden years. Call 317-480-4040 to schedule your first appointment. It's free, or go to TrajanWealth.com. Trajan Wealth offers retirement income planning services that start with an in-depth understanding of your short and long-term goals. It's about you. That's you collaborating in designing your personalized financial portfolio. Call today and learn more about these strategies. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. That's 317-480-4040. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale, only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Not bad, Craig. We do have some slow spots like South Sides, northbound 65. Raymond up to the South Split. That's slow because of road construction. Northwest side slow on northbound 465. 86th Street up to 865. Peel off east a little bit tight out to Michigan Road. On the north side, eastbound 465. Keystone Avenue, snow on the left shoulder. And east side coming into Lawrence, northbound 465. Slow 70 up to Penn Pike. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their great selection of grills. Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Sunny, a high of 88 today, 65 right now in downtown Indianapolis. There are some forecasts of potentially very severe weather this afternoon. Stay glued to Hammer and Nigel, all things WIBC. Our friends at Wish TV will help us out with that too. But right here on 93 WIBC for anything severe weather related coming up later today. 65 again, the temperature. That brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
The news everyone's talking about. You'll find it at WIBC.com. The latest from City Hall, the White House, or the State House. Updated all day. Don't miss what matters. Stay in the know while you're on the go at WIBC and WIBC.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where Indiana Foundation Service comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at indianafoundation.com/row.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Race into Pierce Jewelers in Carmel and make a pit stop to purchase that unique diamond engagement ring that will put you in the winner's circle. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Is an easy one. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt, you got Carl, you got the theme song for Cops happening. That is the theme song game. Thank you, sir, that we play. Carl fires off a TV theme at the end of every show, and Tony guesses what it is. I've gotten some wrong and some right filling in, but Cops is too easy, man. And I actually missed that show. Didn't it go away?
It's on repeat forever.
Okay, good. At least it's on repeat forever. But I want new episodes of Cops, baby. I want them out there soon. I don't think that's going to happen. Matt and Carl hanging out, as I said they do all the time in this show. We were talking in the last half hour about a viral question, 100 men fighting one gorilla, who wins that fight, which got me a couple messages on my social media page, Radio Craig C, from WIBC listeners, asking for other impossible questions, which is pretty cool. If people wanted to hear these, I have more. Do you guys want to answer impossible questions to end the show today? Is that all right with you guys?
There's nothing more I want to do, Craig, than answer something impossible. Yeah, let's have it.
They're
What do you
not
got?
all scenarios. They're not all scenarios, by the way. Some of them are just simple, short questions that you got to tell me the answer to. Why hasn't anyone invented a line of mouse-flavored cat food yet? Do we know the answer to this?
Meow.
Thank you. It's not out there. You get all these other flavors that people might like, but there's no mouse flavor.
My head's about to explode. I didn't know that there was a demand for this. Cats being animals without reason and just instinct. I'm not sure that they exactly want this product.
True.
But now that you mention it and I think about it, man, if I make cat food, I'm definitely going to make it mouse flavored because the cat don't care. But the cat mom and dad care, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is mouse flavored. I'm buying it," and the cat's gonna be happy. Cat's gonna be serene. Cat's gonna eat all
right,
the
Matt.
best food.
These are impossible questions for Matt Bear now. All of a sudden, I like that you just answer them yourself, and the rest of us don't have to do it. Me and Carl can just listen. The next one: are eyebrows facial hair?
No, I'm not.
You sure?
I don't shave my
Think
eyebrows
about
in
it,
the
Matt.
shower. It is on your face.
It is.
Yeah, it's and you do trim your eyebrows. I mean, you have to.
That's true. You do.
You don't want hairy eyebrows. Craig.
No, you don't. You don't want those.
Or nose hairs.
All right.
What the hell did I just say?
I really do have a whole list of these. I don't know if this is a good way to end our show on 93 WIBC, but I can't stop myself.
I'm having a blast.
Why do feet smell and noses run, Matt Bear?
Well, I mean, my feet look like I have trench foot most of the time.
But shouldn't feet run and noses smell?
I don't know that much about the human body, to be honest. I just know I wear sandals a lot of the times. Yeah. Right. What else you got? There?
Why doesn't Tarzan have a beard? If he's been in the jungle this long, why is he shaving?
That's a damn good point, man.
Okay.
Tarzan is no longer an American hero, in my opinion.
That's true. He's not. Yeah, because it seems like he's cheating something somewhere. He's got to get access to something.
He's not even from here,
Yeah. Okay. This is a twofer. Who was the first person that figured out that you could milk a cow, and was math invented or discovered?
On the first one, you don't want to get that one wrong. You want to make sure that,
All right.
Yeah, and it's in what we're doing math with the cow. What was the second question?
I think so.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I think there were chicken and egg type of questions that were together. Here's one. It's a little dark in nature, but again, fictional character, so people should not get mad. a little dark.
Oh, Craig.
Choke a Smurf.
Yeah.
Are we almost at time?
The impossible question is, can we get you a better connection?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, is it going bad?
Yeah, okay,
Is the connection look bad on
got
us?
it. Yeah, this is
Okay. Am I back? Am I okay?
Yeah.
for the moment.
All right. Well, this one is a fictional character, so hopefully people don't get mad about it, but it is a little dark in nature. If you choke a Smurf, what color would it turn?
Oh, that's a great question. Oh, I want to know. It turns red. It would have to turn red like anything else, right?
I gotcha.
You choke the.
I would think so. Yeah. Is my connection still bad? How are we doing, guys?
You're fine.
I'm making Choke the Smurf my Tinder profile.
All right, I have one last impossible question. Again, we can blame the two listeners who sent me messages asking for this as the reason that we ended our segment like this. Why is the word abbreviation so long?
Why is the abbreviation so long?
Why is the word abbreviation so many letters long?
Well, you got to oversell it. That's just the English language is nonsense, and it doesn't make any sense, I think, in a lot of ways. So, it's just, I mean, I can't spell any of the words, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, it's a good question.
If you throw away a trash can, what do you put it in?
What in the hell?
Just want to know. Thank you for that, Matt. What the hell is going on?
Just from this segment alone, I got a migraine right now.
Fine. I kept saying I was going to stop, but I guess I have one more. Okay. If a vampire bites a zombie, does the zombie become a vampire or the vampire become a zombie?
Absolutely. What? I'm still hanging where you're throwing a trash can in a recycling bin or whatever we were doing there.
Can you throw out a trash can, and if so, what do you put it in? I don't know the answer to that.
Have you ever
I guess
been
you put it
bitten?
in another trash can.
You ever been bitten by a vampire?
No, I haven't.
Okay, all right. But no, I don't know. I don't know what happens to a zombie or a vampire whenever you get bitten by.
Right. I'm sorry I hurt your brain, Matt Bear.
No, it's all right.
But we will probably do this again. Matt Bear answers impossible questions. Endor gets frustrated by them. Is the brand new segment on the show. Opening and closing night tonight of this segment. Thrilled to be with you guys as always. It's been a lot of fun. You got some traffic for us, buddy?
I certainly do. Safe travels, Craig. Northbound 65, south side stop and go traffic after South Keystone Avenue into the south split because of road construction. We check on eastbound 465 slow from Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Also looking at northbound 465 in Lawrence, a little bit slow after I-70 up to Penn Pike. And everything else looking pretty good right now. If you check out westbound 70, we are wide open out to the airport from the downtown hotel. So that looks pretty good right now as well. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. See their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Wondering when to plant grass seed for ideal results? Wondering who has the best lawn products? Well, now is the time, and great lawn starts with Jonathan Green products. Hey, Pat Sullivan here from Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. And like Sullivan Hardware and Garden, Jonathan Green is a family-owned and operated business. Jonathan Green has only premium quality Black Beauty grass seed, soil foods, and fertilizers to ensure that you achieve noticeably better results on your lawn. By making your work easier and delivering an impressive lawn, Jonathan Green products will turn your lawn into a green space to be enjoyed with family and friends. Black Beauty seed mixtures are sold at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Improve your lawn with Jonathan Green. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
Hammer and Nigel.
Trump 2028. Somebody's buddy's like, open up the rock, throw them all out there, middle of the ocean.
I'll even get Michael Bay. Let's get Michael Bay. Great director.
We're going to rename San Francisco Bay Michael Bay. We're going to open up Alcatraz. And we're going to make Canada pay for it. I'm here for it all, man. I am here for it all.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
You may not have 1,000 horsepower, but you're always racing, whether it's to work, to pick something up, or drop someone off. So go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're racing to, go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Stylin'. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hammer and Nigel show this afternoon, 3:06. It's Beer Sample Friday. Johnette Cruz from the newsroom. She's going to do Celebrity Beer Bong, and Jeff Boggs is in for Nigel.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends.